his money. You understand? You want to make a side bet on a knockout? Want to make a bet, me and you? You understand that? You want to make a bet like that? Whatever you want, however much you want. What do you want to make it for, $10? Is that what you're willing to risk it on? $5, $10? Let's make a real bet. I'll make a bet on a knockout.
Just to shut your mouth.
Let's make a side bet. He's the one who's saying he's going to knock me out. Make a bet. You think you're going to knock me out? I won't even bet that. Just you knocking out. You want to knock me out? Let's make a bet. We'll make a bet on it.
Shut up.
We'll make a bet. You make me shut up. You make me shut up. You're saying you're going to knock me out. You're saying you're going to knock me out. You're going to knock shit out. You want to bet me you knock me out? How much you want to bet?
You know something, Bob? I'm not afraid of you, Lennox. And we're going to get it on. I owe you one.
Okay.
You're not the man I thought you were. You lied on me. I thought we was cool.
Yo, bring it on, man.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. You ain't saying nothing but a word. Betty Roddick was afraid of you.
I'm going to knock you out.
You was a chump. You ain't going to knock nothing out, Bob.
I'm going to knock you out.
You ain't going to knock nothing out.
You know I'm going to knock you out.
Nothing out. Why you know you do it then? Do it then. You ain't do shit. I ain't know come off my feet.
You're the champion.
You had help from the rest. You had help. Well, knock me out. Knock me out then, Bob.
You ain't nothing to me.
Well, watch your mouth, sucker.
Hey, look, man, touch your mouth away, man. You ain't nothing.
That's it. See, ain't no way he's going to hit you then, right? And remember, it's always good to throw the punch where you could hit him and he can't hit you. That's what the science of boxing
trained
is
to
all
get
about.
away from punches, not only defensively to save himself, but to create openings for his power and for his speed. And he was taught that specific style, to elude punches, to slip the straight, and to weave the round, and to explode punches in the opening.
I mean, I remember Cuz showing him how to throw the uppercut with the proper snap. And Mike would come right over here in the mirror and just practice it for round after round.
With D'Amato as the teacher, Tyson became an obsessive student of boxing. Not just technique, its history. While in the gym, he practiced D'Amato's peekaboo style, fighting with one's hands high, as if in a defensive screen. At home, he would spend even more time practicing moves, as he had late into the night in the reform school.
How did Bird?
Yeah, how did Bird beat?
He beat Vitaly Klitschko though. Which Klitschko are we talking about?
Don't matter which one.
They're different fighters though.
Both of them could get in the ring with Marcel at the same time, and he'd knock them out.
I feel you.
Both. I used to train both the Klitschko.
Okay. What were they like back then when you trained them? Like if you were to compare like Vladimir Klitschko and Vitaly back then to maybe Holyfield when you worked with them, what would you?
Holyfield was a better fighter.
What made him a better fighter? Exactly, what in his skill set?
He fought. Them guys didn't fight, man.
Yeah.
Lennox Lewis, all them guys that come after Marcel. You know how come Ezra Charles retired?
Are you retired?
I mean, the reason he started being a losing fighter. If he had never fought Marciano, he would have been all right. After the first Marciano fight, he went the distance.
Yeah.
Got beat up bad, man. And Ezra Charles was an all-time great. Got beat up real bad.
By Marciano.
Marciano was the hardest puncher I ever seen.
Many people that I met that actually watched him fight or were around Marciano, they often tell me that he was the most conditioned fighter that they had ever seen.
He was. Unbelievable. 8 months in the training camp.
Dang.
He didn't care.
It was his life.
He could fight, man.
Yeah.
Don't go by what these people tell you. I was there.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. Enlighten me.
Klitschko.
Where you going? Big gun. All right, I got it. Bo. Yes, sir. It's starting. Hold on, wait. All right, Bo. What's the basics of boxing? Show us the basics of what we have to do when we're first stepping in the ring. Okay. What's the basics?
First thing is a jab. Then you use your jab. Okay. Right hand. Bang. Too much the jab. Right hand.
How do you set the right hand up? Because a lot of guys like myself, with throwing the right hand, I tend to fall short throwing the right hand. Why is that? You saw me box before.
You're not stepping in like you should. So I'm gonna hear you jab, jab. Okay. I'm at the same distance. I want to close that distance Just right hand. I usually come with doing full. Yeah, right hand hook.
I noticed that you rolled after every combination.
Yeah, because I'm anticipating that you won't fall back at me. Okay. So I gotta get off small and move my head.
The BNK's in the house.
And dog.
I gotta give you a different angle because if I hurt you, I don't want you to hit me because I'm looking at you. So I'm gonna throw a combination, but I don't want to stay there. Because usually if I'm hurt.
Is there anything that he taught you back when you were training you that still resonates to you to this day? That's allowed you to be successful?
Mentorship taught me a lot. He was involved in the career of a lot of heavyweight champions here, and we discussed about it yesterday with the guys. Mentorship was a teacher. He was not a trainer, he was not a coach, he was a teacher. That was enjoyable to have around, and I've learned to love boxing actually. And I started to love boxing when I met Emmanuel Stewart. He made me to understand this with science, which I didn't before. So since I was involved with Emmanuel, I believe that I changed a lot inside of the ring and outside as well. So from my life.
All right, awesome. Last question. Deontay Wilder, he's the other heavyweight champion in the division. Just what's your take on Deontay Wilder, and is a fight with him in the works?
I know Deontay pretty well, and I think that he's a very talented fighter with great skills. What I only have seen previously, and we're going to see this month, he's going to fight this month, that his opposition is not the opposition that the fans are expecting. Obviously he's winning and winning in an impressive way, but I wish he could have better opponents. I understand that he has no influence who is going to be put in the ring because he has promoters and managers, but I hope he could get some of the influence and just say, guys, all right, I mean, as a champ I need to fight somebody that is really deserves and somebody that can be good opposition and really going to make fans
I could see that, and I could see that a lot of that killer wasn't in him, so I had to do things in the gym to try to bring the killer back. I would say different things, and I would use different sparring partners. I remember I had 20 sparring partners at one time, and I told him, I said, look, go in the ring, you're on your way back, don't pull no punches. I can't get another Mike Tyson, but I can always get sparring partners. So we were knocking him out left and right, the ambulance running all day at Don King's training camp. The late, great trainer, Richard Chiquete, threw his hands up and said, I can't believe it. Oh my God, this man is crazy. He's going to make him kill somebody. but that was to help bring him back. And I would quote certain things to him about boxing. A lot of things that, certain things like what Jack Johnson would say. And, you know, might get irritated during interviews a lot of times. And tear up equipment and throw cameras everywhere. And then I would say, he said, well, you know, I get tired of that. All they want me to do this and want me to do that. I said, look, I wrapped his hand. I said, listen, you know what your job is? He said, what's that, Stacey? I said, your job is to drive pretty cars, fuck pretty women, keep a pocket full of spending money, and knock out motherfuckers. That's all you're supposed to do right now. Now, when you finish and retire, you can do all this other stuff. But that's your job. I said, that's what the great Jack Johnson said.
The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, today we are live. We are live on a Monday. I'm going live on a Monday. It's your boy BT. We're here, man. Getting back to doing more than just the live fight reaction. So we're going to be here today to talk about the Teofimo Lopez Triller situation, because a lot of you guys have been fixing your lips and asking me in the comment section, BT, what do you think about the Triller situation? So we're going to get into the nitty gritty of that. So hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. If you're here, thank you for being here. Make sure y'all smash that like button, because that lets YouTube know that you're rocking with your boy BT and the untouchable True School Sports Empire. And it's better for the channel when it takes 2 seconds of your time. So go do that while you're here. Before we get into Teofimo Lopez, I first wanted to give a big thank you to everybody that joined in and participated and watched the live fight reactions this week. It was a very fun week and a very successful week here on True School Sports for both the Joseph Parker Jr. Fall live fight reactions and the Canelo Alvarez Avni Yildirim live fight reactions. It was a lot of fun, and just thank you guys. Now, programming reminder before we get to Teofimo Lopez, programming reminder, okay? Thursday is the next live fight reaction. It's a bit of a slow week of boxing, and there's not really big cards on. But Thursday, we will be live for the Ring City USA card on NBC Sports Network, featuring Sergey Boachuk, who's like 18-0, 18 knockouts. Upcoming prospect. He's taking on Brandon Adams. Who many of us know from fighting Jamal Charlo, from winning the Contender. It's a boxer versus puncher matchup, so I'll be live for that. And I will more than likely be live for the Crush of Shields fight. So those are your programming reminders. Now, let's get into some comments before we get to Teofimo Lopez as well, because I want to acknowledge some people. Shout out to my main man, a YouTube OG, the Nordic Warrior. He says, yo, what's up, guys? God bless. God bless you, Nordic. Hope you're doing good, champ. Jesus M says, let's go, champ. What's good, Jesus? How you living? You all right? Good to see you in that comment section, man. Brandon White, the guy that let's give a round of applause for Brandon White, because we had like thousands of people watching us, and this guy was moderating. So shout out to him. We got my main man, Felipe El Jefe, the real El Jefe, Felipe Garcia. He says Chavez Jr. is doing community service this week, wants to fight Canelo for free. Yes, he does. And we're going to get into that, and we're going to get into all that in the latter stages of the show. Shout out to Felipe, one of the best people I know. President Luke, salute BT. What's up, President Luke? How you living? Hope you're good. EA Luke says salute as well. Shout out to you, champ. So look, let's get to the nitty gritty. All right, we got Teofimo Lopez. This guy, Teofimo Lopez. This is a guy that, he's coming off the heels of just an absolute great win. I had a chance to really. I have a greater appreciation for his career probably than most people with Teofimo Lopez, because if you didn't know, I'll let you know. He is a product of the South Florida boxing scene, more specifically the Davey Powell. And I remember when I first learned to box, I kept hearing his name in the gyms, and when I was training and stuff, and everybody was gassing him up. So I have a great appreciation for his career, and I'm just happy for where he's at in his career. And to see this news to where he came from to where he is now is just absolutely amazing, and it's such a great motivation for all the kids in South Florida that are boxing. And there's a lot of talent coming out of South Florida behind Teofimo Lopez, obviously, like Xander Zayas, Aaron Aponte, who boxed this week on the DAZN card. But some of the names you guys don't know, like Christian Nones and Eric Tudor and Sasha Tudor and kids like that, they're going to be a factor in boxing. And Teofimo Lopez is a big part of that, their inspiration. So just look out for those names when they do come out. But Teofimo Lopez, he came up on a bag. He came up on a bag. I mean, we saw Canelo Alvarez fill out the Hard Rock Stadium in the albatross and the atrocity that was, the live sparring session that he requested at the Hard Rock Stadium. Now Teofimo Lopez, he's getting his money now, and he looks like he's well on his way to becoming the next big superstar in boxing. Now, this news, and I took some time to really marinate on what happened, because it happened, I think it was on Thursday, and it's Monday now. So I've had 4 days to marinate on the whole Triller purse bid. And it was shocking. It was shocking because nobody thought Triller was going to pay $6 million, or anybody was going to pay $6 million for the purse bid for a fight that featured him, Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. Now, what I found interesting about the purse bid, just going through the numbers real quick, right? You had Bob Arum, all right, the Bob father, very cheap, Bob Arum. He offered $2.3 million for the fight in his purse bid offer. Okay, that was the lowest of the 3 offers. Second was Eddie Hearn, who offered $3.5 million for the fight, and which is crazy because Eddie Hearn, it's crazy that somebody actually outbid Eddie Hearn and overpaid and paid more than Eddie Hearn, because Eddie Hearn has a reputation in boxing for sometimes overpaying, paying over the market value of what things are worth. So, he came in second. And then Ryan Kavanaugh, I didn't know I didn't even know who the hell Ryan Kavanaugh was, to be honest with you, until like Thursday. But Ryan Kavanaugh, he's the guy that runs Triller. We'll get into more of who he is as the show progresses. But Ryan Kavanaugh, he paid the $6 million. So it's a great, it was a great thing for Teofimo Lopez. It's one of those things where, like, I feel like this whole Triller thing is gonna change the sport of boxing for the better as far as the fighters go, because first of all, the message that it sends, or that it should send to younger fighters on the come up, is that if you fight the best, if you put it on the line, and if you bet on yourself and succeed in a high stakes fight like Lopez did against Lomachenko, then you will be rewarded for it. And that's what Triller has done, and that's why I think it could be good, amongst many other reasons. I was reading some reports, and I was listening to the Teofimo Lopez speak on his live, and he stated that, with this fight with George Kambosos, they're talking about May. One of the venues that was thrown out there is where Canelo just fought, which is the Hard Rock Stadium, which I think would be amazing because Teofimo Lopez has all the roots in South Florida. Being that he's from he boxes at Davie Powell and spent a great part of his life in South Florida. So it would be an amazing homecoming and a great fight for Teofimo Lopez. And I would definitely make my way out to that fight. That would be worth going to. But yeah, he said that, and Mike Coppinger also reported on that as well when we talk about Teofimo Lopez. But let's talk about Ryan Kavanaugh, because that's one guy I wanted to camp out on is Ryan Kavanaugh, who's the CEO of Triller. Now, who the hell is Ryan Kavanaugh? Like, I was asking myself that question from Thursday to now. Who the hell is Ryan Kavanaugh? And I was doing my homework over the weekend. Now, Ryan Kavanaugh, just if you do a quick Google search on the guy, this guy got paper. I mean, he's 46 years old. He's coming to you live and direct from Los Angeles, California. He's the founder and CEO of Relativity Media, filmmaker, producer, financier, all that good stuff. When we talk about Ryan Kavanaugh, this guy, through Relativity Media, has financed $17 billion in revenue. This guy has money. He knows how to raise capital, and he was on the Fortune 40 under 40 list. So you don't get on the Fortune 40 under 40 list if you don't got some serious guap. And that's the guy that Teofimo Lopez has in his corner, at least for this short term, for this short time. And I found it interesting because, when we talk about Triller and Ryan Kavanaugh and just all the things that come along with this fight and this whole situation, Ryan Kavanaugh has made it very clear what Triller's role in boxing is, or what they intend to be. And he's not necessarily looking at being a competitor to Bob Arum or a competitor to Eddie Hearn, but more of like just an alternative and a way to market fighters in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I think Ryan Kavanaugh and Triller, they deserve a lot of credit, because the big problem I think boxing's had for a long time, when we talk about boxing and why it hasn't really been able to captivate the younger audience as much as we think it should, aside from like big fights not consistently happening in the politics of boxing. But a reason I think that boxing really gets it wrong with the younger crowd is that I think that boxing it's a purist sport, and boxing is a sport that's set in its ways, which is not a good thing, because we live in a very fast-paced world with social media and people moving to where you have to find a way to adapt with the times. There's the great saying that says adapt or die. In boxing, when it comes to winning new fans, much like baseball, they haven't really adapted with the times. Now, do I think I'm a boxing purist? Like make no mistake about it, I'm a boxing purist. Do I love the Jake Paul Nate Robinson type of fights? Hell no. Do I like these like Antonio Tarver versus Frank Mir boxing UFC exhibitions? No, I don't. They're not my cup of tea. But the reality is boxing is a business. And within business, you have to look at supply and demand. And if Jake Paul versus Ben Askren or Tarver versus Frank Mir or those whatever exhibition fights, Holyfield versus Tyson, Tyson versus Roy Jones, if those are the fights that are driving the numbers, then you gotta at least consider making those fights happen, or exhibitions. I just say exhibitions happen. You know what I'm saying? So what I like what Triller has done, because they found it looks like Triller has found the balance. It looks like Ryan Kavanaugh, Triller, and all parties involved on that side of the street have found the happy medium. And the happy medium is that you're going to see all kinds of fights on the card. On a Triller card, they'll be able to reach every sort of demographic when it comes to fight fans. You know, you're going to have Teofimo Lopez and George Campbell Jr., which is obviously a fight for the hardcore fans, the more traditional boxing fans. And that's great. You know, you're also going to have Mike Tyson versus Holyfield, which is a spectacle that anybody would want to see. And then you're going to have, you know, what many of us pure boxing fans would call a straight farce with Jake Paul versus Ben Askren, or Jake Paul versus, you know, Nate Robinson and things like that. You know, and that right there, because of the reach that Jake Paul has on YouTube, that's going to bring a whole new audience to boxing, and that's going to bring a lot more audience to Teofimo Lopez and what he's got going on. And that can only be a win for boxing. Now, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I didn't think that Jake Paul would really have an impact on boxing as far as with the younger generation like he has. But like when I was back in South Florida, when I was back in South Florida and I was going from gym to gym, training in different gyms, sparring in different gyms back in December, I would talk to a lot of kids as I was wrapping my hands and training. And a lot of kids were showing up to these gyms. Like I went to Davy Powell, I went to Fifth Street Gym, I went to a lot of different gyms in South Florida. And a lot of kids have decided to pick up the boxing gloves because of Jake Paul. And I think, like, whether you like Jake Paul or not, I think that's a beautiful thing. Because, okay, maybe Jake Paul is corny. Maybe we don't like him as purist of the sport. But he's gotten a large sum of kids that normally under no other circumstances would they ever find boxing attractive or entertaining. And he's got those kids to at least pique the interest enough to go to the gym and try the sport out, which is going to create more fans, which is going to create more fighters, which is only going to be better for the sport. So, you know, I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I was really angry at Jake Paul at first, and I didn't like it because I was like the old boxing purist type of person. But I love what it's doing, and I think the fact that Teofimo Lopez has aligned himself with heavy hitters as far as, like, when we talk about generating public interest and public demand and attention, the fact that Teofimo Lopez, even if it's for one fight, has aligned himself with a network that's doing, you know, like they're doing Jake Paul fight exhibitions and Mike Tyson exhibitions. You know, they're saying that he's not going to fight on one of their cards, but I'm sure they got a good plan in place to get him his eyeballs on the fight and exposure. And by the time that Cambo's fight is done, and if he's victorious, I believe Teofimo Lopez will go back to Top Rank or whoever the hell he decides to work with, a lot more popular. And that's a win for boxing, because if there's a guy in boxing, if there's a fighter in boxing, particularly a young fighter that deserves exposure, it's Teofimo Lopez, because he's done it the honest way, he's done it the right way. You know what I'm saying? So those are just some of my initial thoughts. I'll get to the quotes from Ryan Kavanaugh, because Ryan Kavanaugh had a lot to say about Teofimo Lopez and his intentions when it comes to Triller and their place in boxing. And we'll get to that in a second. But right now, for the time being, let me get to some more comments. All right. Let me get to some more comments. So we got my main man. Let me get to the super chat first, because gotta show love. We gotta show love here on True School Sports, first and foremost, to those that show us love. And this is how you show love. This is how you show love. You donate to the channel, you support the channel, and it helps keep your boy BT going. Now, my main man or woman, I'm not sure who the heck this is, like if it's a man or a woman, so whoever you are, thank you. This Pamo Room says, "I love you, fam." Well, you know what? I love you too. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you. Thank you for your support. I God bless. Sewell A, Triller owner, Teofimo's manager, and Teofimo himself all confirmed it won't be on the Tyson Holyfield undercard. It will be its own headlining pay-per-view card. Yeah, I saw the same thing. They're talking about late May. Teofimo today on an Instagram live stated that May 29th would be the date they're looking at. And Miami was mentioned as one of the venues. So I'll love for that to happen. Hawker Mustang, what's up, champ? He says, I left Punch to holler at my boy BT. Salute, man. Yeah, and salute to Punch Drunk Boxing. He's doing his thing, man. He's doing his thing. Sula A says, it's awesome to confirm Regis Pro Grade. Yep, I made a video about that. So, shout out to everybody who's doing their thing. And I gotta acknowledge this comment by Felipe. He says, adapt or die, champions make adjustments. That's right, Felipe. The great Floyd Mayweather once said very famously, a true champion can adapt to anything, and that's what we're doing here on True School Sports, and that's what Teofimo Lopez is doing with his boxing career, because he is frustrated with Bob Arum. He's not happy with how Top Rank is treating him. He feels like Top Rank gave him that straight slap in the face money, and they did, because you are good. Listen, you are worth whatever the market is willing to pay for you, and the market says that Top Rank underpaid Teofimo Lopez because there was another willing, platform such as Triller that gave the $6 million for the fight happily, happily. But I want to get into these quotes from Ryan Kavanaugh. If you guys don't know Ryan Kavanaugh, if you're just tuning in, make sure you smash that like button, all that good stuff. Ryan Kavanaugh, the CEO of Triller, had quite a lot to say about just Teofimo Lopez, bringing him to the Triller platform and Triller's place in boxing. So I'm gonna read these quotes verbatim. They're a bit long-winded, so just bear with me and we'll dissect from there. So Ryan Kavanaugh stated the following, saying, I quote, "This fight was really a really important one for us to have. Having the undisputed champion for Triller was something we really were hoping to get. It was my first purse bid, so I wasn't sure if we were going to get it. We are very excited. It's the next step for us trying to pair all quadrant of entertainment together with boxing," end quote. I want to pause it right there, and because there is more, but I want to pause right there because he said something that I want to camp out on. So he said, it's the next step for us trying to pair all quadrants of our entertainment together with true boxing. So he's acknowledged the fact that Triller is an entertainment platform, because they are. And if you watch the first Triller card that featured Mike Tyson and Roy Jones and Jake Paul and Nate Robinson, it was like that. You would have 2 regular boxing fights on the card. You'd have like freaking Lil Wayne perform, Snoop Dogg perform, and then you'd have those fights. So what Triller is doing, or what they're attempting to do, and I'm not sure if they're going to be successful with this over the long haul. Only time will tell. But what Triller is attempting to do is bridge the gap between young and old in boxing, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing, because Bob Arum is set in his ways. He's going to do things his way. Eddie Hearn, he's a bit more progressive and dynamic with how he promotes his fights, but like he has his ways as well. And he's not necessarily doing. He did start the whole YouTube boxer thing. Like, he was the first guy that gave it a platform, but Triller has taken it to that next level, because they're pairing it with everything. They're taking high profile boxing matches with high profile exhibitions between ex-boxers and YouTubers and putting it all on the same card. So, and they're having rappers and high profile artists perform in between. So what you're doing is, by doing that, you're creating like a Super Bowl like feel. Like you guys know the Super Bowl in America, it's like the big event. It's a spectacle. You got all people from all walks of life that don't even like the sport tuning in, because there's something with the Super Bowl that can appeal to someone, whether it's the commercials, whether it's the halftime show, or whether it's the game itself. There's something that appeals to everybody, and Triller's doing the same thing. So I think because of that, Triller has a chance to just knock everything out the park, because, as much as I love boxing, as much as I respect boxing, I understand and know that boxing has a limited audience. Whether we're talking about big fights or small fights, there's always going to be a cap on boxing. But when you pair boxing with entertainment and these exhibitions, whether I like it or not, the numbers and the exposure and the eyeballs and the attention is going to be a lot higher, and that can only be a win for the fighters, because we can't sit here as boxing fans and complain that boxing doesn't get attention, but then when it gets attention in a way we don't like, we want to fix our lips and bitch and moan about it. We can't do that. So I like what Triller's trying to do. We'll see if they're successful long term. Progressing further along in the quote, Ryan Kavanaugh then continues to say, I quote, We're hopefully showing people that we're here as a friend to boxing, to the boxing world, to bring them the fights they want to see. We're not here to attack it, but to bring entertainment to what has traditionally been a purist sport. Our view is that we want to make it look and feel different. We also want to make sure we have the legitimacy of real fights and building a real fight club, and not just something that is built around social media. The importance of this for us was that we're still going to deliver a different experience that has something for everyone. So again, another beautiful quote from Ryan Kavanaugh. He's saying all the right things. He's got me on board. Like, look, he's acknowledging that, you know, they're not trying to compete with the Eddie Hearns. They're not trying to compete with the Bob Arums. They're not trying to compete with the Al Haymans. They're just trying to be an extension of that and kind of just put a new twist on it. And they got a bit of a different business model. You know what I'm saying? So they want to make boxing look and feel different. They want to bridge that gap, which I like. I like the idea of that. And what I like about what he said is that he understands that he wants to have legitimate fights. He's not just there to put Jake Paul versus Nate Robinson and Ben Askren and all these guys that really can't fight. He's going to put real fights with world-class pugilists at the highest level along with what he's doing. And he's made that up. It seems, just judging by the quotes, because all I can do is take him at his word for now. It seems like that's a priority for Triller, and that has me on board. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, you know, Triller, the next Triller card will be April 17th. That'll be the much anticipated exhibition fight between Jake Paul and Ben Askren. I'm sure that's going to do crazy, stupid numbers because Jake Paul is a social media, you know, phenomenon, really. But moving further along in the comments, he says, I quote, "We are in no way competing with Bob Arum. Eddie Hearn is Arum's true competition. We're just doing this to build a brand. We don't want to compete with Arum or ESPN because we have a different business model. We hope they see us. We hope that they see us as a way to create more marketing for their fighters. Teofimo will come in with a certain amount of followers and leave with hopefully 3 to 4 times more than that amount. That'll be good for Bob too. We think we're great for everyone in the sport." And you know what? Like, I agree with Ryan Kavanaugh. I agree with him. And I love the approach he's taking because, you know, one thing I know about boxing and one thing I know about boxing promoters and managers and just people that work in boxing is that they have massive egos. They have egos the size of the fucking Grand Canyon. I mean, it's huge. They got big egos. So he's approaching it the right way. He's not trying to step on anybody's toes. And I think that what Triller is trying to do in the approach they're taking could be a good thing because there's so many times in boxing, even when it's with great fighters like Teofimo Lopez, who are marketable, who are exciting, who are capable of doing ratings on regular TV. Sometimes it's difficult for the promoters to get these fights over the line. And I feel like when you have a fighter like Teofimo Lopez or any fighter in general, and you got these fights that are going to purse bid, these mandatory type fights that are going to struggle to break even for the promoters, like Bob Arum, like Eddie Hearn, Triller could be an alternative for those kind of fights. And Triller is going to have things along with the fight that are going to get it more exposure and more marketing, and the fight can get its just due. And the best part about that, to me, the ultimate W about that is the fact that the fighters are going to get paid more. And, you know, I'm always an advocate for that. Boxing is a very, very, very difficult, arduous, and gruesome sport. You know, it's not an easy way to make a living. So the fighters deserve the money, especially when you crack that, you know, top 1% level where you're a top 10 ranked fighter, world champion, that type of level. You deserve that. You deserve money. So I'm all for that. And I like the way Triller is approaching it. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully he's right. You know, I'm very interested to see how the profile, how not so much Teofimo Lopez the fighter, like the Teofimo Lopez the fighter, like he's a damn good fighter, and you know Kambosos is going to come to win, and I think it'll be a competitive fight. I think Lopez will win, and if he does that, I'm in sensational fashion, of course. I'm very intrigued to see how Teofimo Lopez outside the ring improves from being on Triller. You know, does Teofimo Lopez become a bigger star? Does he close the gap between him and Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia? Because what people don't talk about enough is the fact that with Teofimo Lopez, even though you could say he's the best fighter in the division, if you look at and I know you can't always go by this. So you can't always go by this, but it is a good barometer of how popular a fighter is and what kind of interest they're generating. You know, Teofimo Lopez isn't as followed or talked about on social media as Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia. Obviously, he's not like a social media whore like those guys, so it's a bit different. But you get what I'm saying. So I'm looking forward to seeing how his overall perception of him outside the ring increases after the fight, because he's one of the guys that when I look at young fighters who could really impact the younger generation and get them into boxing, he's one of those guys. I mean, Teofimo Lopez is a great fighter. He knocks people out. He's fast. He's got a crowd-pleasing style. He's an A-level fighter. And on top of that, he knows how to sell himself. This guy puts on when he was fighting on Top Rank on ESPN shows, he puts on the winner of the Heisman Trophies jersey on before his fights. This guy did the Fortnite dance. I mean, I kid you not. Teofimo Lopez was actually getting some notoriety from a lot of like 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 8-year-old, 7-year-old kids. Not because he knocked out Diego Magdaleno, but because when he knocked him out, he did the Fortnite dance. And so he's got that kind of it factor, that kind of superstar quality. And I think that Top Rank has, in my opinion, they've done a good job in building him up. But once he's gotten to that level where he really needs that extra push, they failed him in that regard. And that's my opinion on the whole matter. You see what I'm saying? Let me see. Oh, snap. We got some amazing people. We got some crazy I see a lot of comments. I'm gonna get to these comments in a second, but shout out to everybody who's here. Make sure y'all smash that like button, subscribe, support the channel. It's the untouchable True School Sports Empire, your boy BT. Right now we're talking about Teofimo Lopez and the whole Triller situation. Now Bob Arum, right? Bob Arum had some interesting quotes in response to Kavanaugh, and I wanted to just kind of dissect those. Now, he stated the following, and I quote, "It's terrific and wonderful that Triller put a bid the way they did. I hope it works out for them because we made a lot of money in 5 minutes. Almost $800,000 is pretty good money. Shit, that's really great because Lopez versus Kambosos is not a premier attraction. Kavanaugh is absolutely great for boxing. He's not doing anything bad for the sport. He's done numbers in the past with Tyson versus Jones that nobody else has done in boxing on pay-per-view. He's not a competitor. He's not a competitor, though. If he contacted me and said, we'd give close to $1 million to have Teofimo fight, don't you think I would have agreed? Triller is not competition to ESPN. They are in a totally different business. ESPN could care less that Teofimo is on Triller, so good luck to them. Triller is spending money in effect as marketing. Their model is different and our model is different. We do 30 events a year. If they come into the market for real boxing and create inflation with pay-per-view shows, so be it. Everybody makes money." So interesting quotes there from Bob Arum, and I'm with it, man. I'm just all for the fighters getting paid because I've seen firsthand the effects of like what happens to these fighters when they get older and they take the wear and tear on their body and they don't have nothing, and it's not fun to see. It's not fun to see at all. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is. But yeah, I think too, not right now, because it's very early in the ball game to say this for Triller. We don't know what the hell Triller's direction in boxing is going to be. I mean, they're saying one thing right now, but who's to say they don't pivot and do become a competitor of Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn if things go very well? You just don't know how things are going to play out. One thing in the boxing business, you don't know from 1 year to the next, or 1 month to the next, really, or 1 week to the next, what the hell can happen. So right now, Triller is saying that they're not competitors, but who's to say that in a week or 2 months' time or half a year's time or a year's time that Triller isn't doing 10 pay-per-view shows a year and being a competitor to ESPN and Top Rank and Golden Boy and all these other boxing entities. You know what I'm saying? So take everything that's said in boxing with a grain of salt. Yeah, that's what it is. But that's just my little synopsis on Teofimo Lopez and the whole Triller situation. I want to know what you guys think. So I'm gonna get to these comments because I know I got quite a few. So we got my main man, Cube Met. He says, "Keep up the good work." Thank you, champ. I will definitely, most certainly do that. Sula A says, "Next time you see Shannon Briggs, tell him to get in contact with Triller ASAP. Briggs would KO both Antonio Tarver and Frank Mir in the same night. Let's go, champ. Vamos, campeón. All right. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to see Shannon again, but I'm it's not only am I sure that he's talked to Triller. I know he talked to Triller because the last time I saw Shannon in the gym, he was talking about something like that. 1SSS, he says, conspiracy Al Heyman is part of this. How is Regis and Red Cat fighting on Triller and we had Badu Jack? That's true. That's a good point. You know, Al Heyman, we know Al Heyman, you know, and by the way, guys, if you haven't done so already, I want you guys to take a deep breath, look to the heavens and say, thank you, Al Heyman, for the wonderful day we're having, because you got to thank Al Heyman. But all jokes aside, I mean, look, you didn't seriously think that Al Heyman wasn't going to have his hands involved with Triller and Teofimo Lopez. I mean, if you know anything about Al Heyman, you know that Al Heyman, he's got his hand all up in that music industry. He came from the music industry. All right. He made millions and millions and millions off the music industry. So why wouldn't he be on Triller? Why wouldn't he be involved? It's not a surprise at all. But you know, make it what you will. Fab Castro says DAZN in Matchroom paid $7 million to Mikey Garcia and bid 3.5 for the Teo fight. Yeah. What you're saying is correct. Which is ridiculous because I don't know how Mikey Garcia continues to get all this money. It's just ridiculous. And Matchroom Boxing, sometimes I question their business ethics and their business practices, because we got Cholatito versus Estrada coming up, right? And this is a fight that's true legacy fight, you know, creme de la creme type of fight. And they're Cholatito and Estrada got to fight tooth and nail for $1 million. But you gave Mike Garcia $7 million and you bid only 3.5 on Teofimo Lopez. I mean, it's a fucked up world we're living in. It's a really messed up world we're living in. Woohoo says Triller won't last long. We'll see, man. We'll have to see. So glad I don't have to hear Timothy Bradley speak and talk shit about Kambosos during the fight. He's a real company man. And you know what? I agree with you. Timothy Bradley is a company man, but Timothy Bradley, he speaks the truth every now and then. You know, he spoke the truth about Canelo along with Teddy Atlas when he basically said that, hey, he ain't fighting the best. He ain't really fighting nobody. So you got to put at least a little bit of respect on the name of Timothy Bradley. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. At SSB 28, what's good? Chevy says, yo, what up? They're trying to break into the market. Yeah, they are. They are. They're going about it in a very pragmatic and nice and diplomatic way. But yeah, they're trying to break into the market, and they're doing it in a roundabout way by saying, yeah, well, we're different because we have YouTubers on our card and we have old has-been boxers doing exhibitions, you know? So, but yeah, you're right. History shows that when you try to build shit shows, your business model won't last long. Well, you're correct in that, Woo. But at the same time, we live in a day and age now where people are idiots, so they'd rather watch Jake Paul. There's more people there. Listen, there's more people on this planet right now that want to see Jake Paul versus Ben Askren than they do Terrence Carter versus Errol Spence. That's a fact. That is an undisputed fact. And you know, we're in a different time now. We're in a different time now. So I don't think you can really compare what's going on with Triller to anything else that's happened in boxing before. It's a completely different scenario, and we're just gonna have to wait and see how it plays out. But you might be right. You might be right. This Teofimo fight wasn't even worth the 3.5 Matchroom bid on it. I mean, it wasn't. But look, I'm all for the fighters getting their money. I'm all for it. So it is what it is there, man. I mean, look, my thing is this, right? My thing is this. If that Turkish sparring partner, Avni Yildirim, you know, the robot, if Avni Yildirim can go in that ring and not do shit for 3 rounds and get paid $2.1 million for a live sparring session in a football stadium, then let Teofimo live. Let him get his $6 million. You know, I think this is going to be a waiting game now. We have to see the return on the investment and then judge the event. You're correct in what you're saying because you're very correct in what you're saying because I'm not sure. It hasn't been announced yet. I mean, Teofimo did say that he believes it will be a pay-per-view event. And I think it will be too. So Teofimo Lopez on pay-per-view, no Jake Paul, no Mike Tyson, standalone main event. How does Triller get Teofimo Lopez, you know, to be successful on pay-per-view? He's not really an established pay-per-view star as of yet. So that's going to be a challenge, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Triller does to do that, you know. But I don't agree with Teofimo ripping Bob Arum. No point in bashing him when you're still under contract. Well, hey, he doesn't care. He don't care. They can sell worldwide rights and triple their money. That's facts. Eddie just likes to flex his pocketbook every now and then. But yeah, 3.5 was an overpay for Matchroom. But you can't get mad at it. You know, listen, it was an overpay. Matchroom Boxing has a long, especially since they broke into America, Matchroom Boxing has a long and storied history of overpaying fighters way above market value. You know, that's why a lot of times when Eddie Hearn goes to negotiate these big fights, he can't get them over the line, and he struggles to get them over the line for the simple fact that all the opposing promoters and people he's negotiating with know that whatever, no matter what they do, he's going to open up that checkbook and overpay. So it gives the opposing side leverage, and it stalls the talks. But you know, once you make a cake, it's a cake. You know, he's set in his ways. That's how he does business. So, you know, I can't knock him. I can't. Shout out to my main man, you know, one of my favorite subscribers on the channel, the real champ, Jairo Galvez. He says, if Canelo wants to be champion, he got the real champ, the lineal champ, Andre Ward. He don't want no elbows. He don't want no elbows from that UFC fighter / boxer, Andre Ward. He don't want no smoke from Pastor Ward. Yo, Pastor Ward will baptize Canelo. And I got a video coming out about that soon. So stay tuned for that. That's something we can talk about later. 704 Joe. What up, True? What's up, Joe? How you living? Shout out to you in the 704, Charlotte. How much are they going to pay Tyson versus Holyfield? I mean, look, if they're paying Teofimo Lopez and Camboso $6 million, I mean, Mike Tyson versus Holyfield, depending on where it's at, because there's been rumors that the fight could be in Dubai. So if they're over there getting that Arab money, you know, then we're looking at we're looking at potentially a $100 million exhibition. You know what I'm saying? They won't lose money. They will have that Tyson Holyfield 3 on that card. Potentially. It's potentially. Jairo says, I want to see Andy Ruiz on Triller. Bring in the Mexicans. Bring back Andre Ward. Make that money. Andre Ward on BET was weird. You know what's funny? I'm glad Jairo brought this up. So the closest thing I think we've seen to Triller, if you want to use history, was, and some of you may remember this, for those of you who are really up in your boxing, you may or may not remember this. So when Andre Ward first came back and he had his first tune-up to get ready for Sergey Kovalev, he fought Paul Smith, Pudding Pop Paul Smith, and he fought him on BET. They had Sway there hosting the event. They had all kinds of stuff. And from what I remember, I mean, I had to go back and look at the ratings, but from what I remember, the event was a straight flop. And BET never got another fight again. And Rock Nation has been pretty much almost obsolete in boxing. I mean, they got a couple fighters. They got like Maurice Hooker. They got Tremaine Williams, but they really don't got nobody else. So, you know, hopefully Triller doesn't suffer the same fate. Hopefully, for their sake. For their sake. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you guys can keep leaving your comments on Teofimo Lopez and Triller and all that good stuff if you want. I want to move on to another subject, all right? Because there is a couple of things I do want to talk about. I don't want to just talk about this, although this was the main thing I am going to talk about. I want to switch gears, all right? I want to switch gears, and I want to talk about something else that happened today. And that something else that happened today happened to be in the same division Teofimo Lopez fights in. And it took place between Devin Haney and Vasyl Lomachenko. Now, these two, they had their Twitter fingers going all day today. You know, I was out and about this morning. Just doing, you know, just out and about this morning, living life, getting stuff done. And while I was out and about, I went on Twitter and I saw that Devin Haney tweeted. He said, I quote, "Where the fuck is Lomachenko?" All right. And then Lomachenko pretty much said, I quote, "I'm here. I'm waiting for you cowards to decide on a real fight, not a Twitter fight." And then Devin said, "Waiting is not your best bet. I would think you learned from the Teo fight." Then after that whole thing happened, Loma said, "Waiting is your favorite action because you still haven't fought with anyone." And then Devin said, "I was definitely waiting to fight you when I was your mandatory and you petitioned for that franchise title." And then Loma said, you know perfectly well that that was not my decision, but you shouldn't complain about it because after they sent you, you shouldn't complain about it after they sent you a world title by mail. And then Devin says, well, tell me who made the decision. So these two are talking spicy right now, and they have a long check of history right now. And we're just going to keep it a buck when it comes to Lomachenko. He's getting shitted on. He's getting shitted on by the entire boxing world. I mean, like, look, I have my fun. I have a lot of fun when I talk to the salty Lomachenko fans and I say stupid things like Teofimo Lopez dominated him and things like that. But, like, the reality is, aside from Teofimo Lopez, Lomachenko the best fighter. He's the best fighter in the division until proven otherwise. You know, I don't think Devin Haney could beat Lomachenko, to be honest with you. I'd pick Lomachenko if they fought. And the same goes for a couple other fighters. And if Devin Haney thinks otherwise, you know, sign a contract. You know, I like Devin Haney as a fighter. I think he's got a great potential. You know, and I think he'll mature into a fantastic fighter because he has very high level talent. But sometimes he does himself a disservice because every time I hear about Devin Haney, it's always in the context of two things. It's either sparring, something about sparring, or Twitter. It's never about Devin Haney in the ring, under the lights. It's never about Devin Haney improving as a fighter, the things that matter. And that gets me annoyed. It's like, when are you gonna like fight someone? I know it's not easy getting guys in the ring. I know boxing, the business is not easy, but like, come on, man. You fought Gamboa your last fight and you didn't look that great. Like, come off your high horse and live in reality. You got some work to do. Because the reality is, as talented as you are, you're a fighter who's just famous for sparring and nothing else. You're famous for sparring sessions and sparring rumors. So my thing is this, right? Even if it was true that Lomachenko big time you and ducked you, okay, let's say he did. I'm gonna give you that. He ducked Devin Haney. But you ain't got no damn fight coming up. He ain't got no damn fight coming up. You need to really validate yourself in this lightweight division, because while you're sitting here tweeting your life away, you know, you're getting arthritis in your thumbs from being on Twitter. You know, you got Teofimo Lopez making moves. You got Ryan Garcia making moves. These guys are all in some way, shape, or form ahead of you. Okay. And it's just time for you to show and validate the hype. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Mark Pinkerton. I like this comment right here because I agree with it. Devin Haney's pro career has been made off the back of Lomachenko and Lopez. And that's a fact, because you never hear Devin Haney. When it comes to Devin Haney, you never hear about him individually, what he's doing, how he's getting better, how he's maturing, how he's proving himself to be one of the best talents that this country's produced in quite some time. You don't hear about those things. No, you hear about sparring. You hear about supposed ducking, you know. And like boxing fans, and I'm speaking for myself right here. Like people like myself, I get tired of that. I get tired of that shit. Like at some point in time, your ass has to actually cash the checks that your mouth is writing, and thus far it hasn't happened. So we'll see we'll see what happens. You know, I give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because he is the youngest of the bunch of the fighters around those weights, so he's got time to grow. You know what I'm saying? They will do the event in a big stadium. People will come to watch legends. It's once in a lifetime. And I believe he's talking about Roy Jones. Tyson versus Holyfield. Teo versus the Australian. Same card. If so, how they can pay Teo? Well, no. They've already came out and stated that Teofimo Lopez, when he fights on Triller, he will not be fighting with Tyson on the card. He will not be fighting with Jake Paul on the card. His event will be a standalone event. He will be the main event. So I don't know what the hell they're going to do. I don't know how in the hell they're going to attract people without those guys. But I'm very interested to see what their plan is, because if they're paying him $6 million, I'm sure they got to have some sort of plan. Wouldn't be surprised if we get Caleb Plant versus Canelo on Triller. What would be the weirdest network to have boxing on? The weirdest network to have boxing on? I don't know, fucking the Lifetime network. I don't know, Lifetime, one of those women's channels. That'd be the weirdest network. Lifetime, Animal Planet. I don't know, those channels, I guess. Let me see. I don't hate Teofimo, but I don't dick ride that kid either. Well, I'm not dick riding him either. I'm just calling a spade a spade. This guy this guy Teofimo Lopez, his last 3 fights, he's defeated Nakatani, Komei, and Lomachenko. So any hype he has, he's earned it. It's not like with Devin Haney. Devin Haney is getting clout off of saying that he beat up, this guy in sparring and that guy in sparring and sparring this, sparring that. Like, come on, man. You when you retire from boxing, nobody's gonna say, oh yeah, Devin Haney, he just won so many sparring sessions. Nobody gives a fuck about that. At the end of the day, it comes down to what do you do under them lights? Do you perform under them lights? And thus far, he's had 25 fights. He's got more fights than Teofimo Lopez. Right? He is younger than Teofimo Lopez, but he's got more fights than Teofimo Lopez. It's kind of like when Canelo Alvarez fought Floyd Mayweather. He had almost as many fights as Floyd Mayweather, but like it didn't matter. Sul A says Bob Arum won't let Lomachenko fight on the zone versus Haney, and at the same time, Bob is too cheap to afford Haney to fight on Top Rank. I think Bob just reached that point in his life where he's an old, bitter, senile man. Okay, he's a senile man. He needs to either get the fuck out of boxing, and I hate saying that, and I don't want to disrespect the great Bob Arum, but I'm just being blunt. He needs to either get out of boxing, or he needs to actually promote boxing properly and do his job. You know what I'm saying? Teofimo fans can't ignore the fact that him being signed to Top Rank is the only reason he got those championship fights against other Top Rank fighters. Nakatani wasn't a Top Rank fighter. I mean, he wasn't no Top Rank fighter. So, yeah, but I guess the other ones, yeah. I mean, it helped. It played a role. So basically, what you're saying is Devin Haney is no different than Terrence Crawford. He's no different than Terrence Crawford because it's reversed the other way at 147. Crawford's on a Top Rank and it doesn't benefit him. So that I could sit there and say, Earl Spence is only getting the big fights in the welterweight division because he's with PBC. It's the same thing. But at the same time, Earl Spence ain't no damn 20. Earl Spence isn't 22 and 23 years old taking on an A-level fighter like a Lomachenko. He's not. He's fought some good fighters, but it's not like a Lomachenko type of fighter. In my opinion. Yeah, they don't want to hear that. They don't. Devin Haney, this is from Felipe. Devin Haney's 22 years old, bro. He's got 15 years left in the tank. Let him mature. Oh, I'm not condemning the kid. I want to see Devin Haney do good. I've been following Devin Haney longer than most people. I've been following Devin Haney since he was an amateur. All right. The kid is a phenomenal talent, and just go on BoxRec and go have one look at who he beat in the amateurs, and you'll see that he was a top kid coming into the professional ranks. You know what I'm saying? Devin Haney, like with him, I just want to see him reach his potential, and I don't like when fighters make their whole reputation on sparring, on things we can't confirm or see. We just gotta have faith that he did good in sparring, even though we weren't there, we didn't see it. But with Devin Haney, with Devin the Dream Haney, there's definitely a talented fighter in there. I do have questions about him that I hope to have answered, which is why I want to see him step up and fight someone with the pulse. Not the corpse of Gamboa or not the corpse of Jorge Linares. Fight someone who could give you a real test. I like to see Devin Haney fight Nakatani. That's a fight that, in my humble perspective, I don't think that Devin Haney's team is interested in that fight, because I remember when I was on Punch Drunk's channel. Shout out to Punch Drunk Boxing. When I was on it, I was watching his channel about 2 months ago, and he had the OG Bill Haney on there. And when he was talking to Bill, I super chatted Punch Drunk Boxing, and I never super chatted. I never super chat anybody anything. So this is a first. I super chatted Bill Haney, and I asked Bill. I said, "Look, Bill, could Devin fight Nakatani next?" And it took an hour to answer the question. They saw my comment and he put it on the screen. He didn't want to answer it. So I think I'm not saying that they're scared or they're ducking Nakatani, but there's definitely a reluctance there, So I want to see that fight. But what do you guys think? Al the Pal, what's good, champ? How you living? You all right? Spence got those belts only because he's with PBC. That's exactly. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Devin, the email champ, Haney needs to keep cherry picking and cloud chasing. His daddy Bill knows that the kid ain't ready, and that's okay. That's okay, but just come out and say it. Come out and say it. Don't stick your chest out and act like something you're not. Say it. Say that you're not ready, and I could have more respect for you. Undisputed equals one belt nowadays. Absolutely. You know, a lot of times, and it's crazy because we've lived long enough in boxing. Congratulations to everybody out there who's a boxing fan. We've lived long enough in boxing to see world titles become a roadblock to big fights. It's insane. World titles used to be the caveat for the big fights. Now world titles are the roadblocks for the big fights. It's like you look at Canelo, right? Canelo wants to go undisputed, but he won't fight Benavidez, who's clearly one of the best fighters in the weight class, if not the best fighter in the weight class. And he, you know, people are okay with him not fighting Benavidez, and he's getting a pass for that. You know, so it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the tomfoolery that's going on in boxing these days. Devin, the email champ Haney, needs to keep cherry picking. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I read that one already. Spence has no excuse not to fight Crawford. Crawford is already in his third weight division, and Earl is treating the fight like he's taking the bigger risk. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, you know, I don't want to talk about that fight too much because we've already wasted so much unnecessary energy on that fight. There's nothing new I'm going to say about that fight. You guys know how I feel about it. You guys know why I think it's not happening. I think it's happening because Errol Spence Jr., like much other PBC welterweights, are in a witness protection program, and they're on a unified front to not fight Terrence Crawford. You know, and those are orders from the boss himself, Al Haymon, to not fight Terrence Crawford. So it's just like, I'm just over it. What I will say about Terrence Crawford though is that I believe, and this is my bold prediction for this is one of my bold predictions for 2021 as far as boxing goes. I believe that Terrence Crawford and Manny Pacquiao and that fight will get done this year. I truly believe that. I think that this year is the time that it happens. I believe that this year is the time that it comes to fruition. Let me see. We got my man Hyro. Sean needs to go to purse bid, and that's the port away. He don't like cheap Bob, then go to purse bid. Yeah, go to purse bid, and we'll see who puts the money for the fight. I saw that. You know, hey, it's not expected. Al Haymon's going to get in where he fits in as much as possible. Look, I've been talking for an hour, so look, I know you guys don't want to sit here and look at me all day. So what we're going to do now, after an hour of talking, and look, we're doing before I drop the link, I'm letting you guys know I'm doing things a bit differently. All right, if you weren't here for the live and you didn't see what happened on Saturday, if you didn't see how I did things on Saturday, this is how I'm choosing to do things. So when I drop this link and you guys click and you get into the backstage and I bring you on, I'm only doing it one at a time. I don't want to do 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 at a time. I want to do it one at a time. I feel like the conversations flow better. I don't got to worry about pausing. And so I'm gonna drop the link. If y'all, whoever wants to come on True School Sports, speak their piece, talk about some boxing. The first person that gets in the backstage, I will put them on, and then whoever's second, they'll be on second, and whoever's third will be third. And that's how I'm going to do it. So if you want to come on, there's the link. Same. I think Al Haymon forced the WBA to strip Pacquiao before heading into the Crawford fight to keep the belt. I didn't even consider that. I'm glad you brought that up. That's an underrated point. You know, I didn't even consider that, but you're right. So you know what? Now that fight would just be for what, Crawford's WBO title and its top rank. It's definitely gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. Bob will make that fight happen because Bob's gonna keep. Well, yeah, I think Bob will make it happen. It's time. It's been too long waiting for that fight. They are trying to freeze Crawford out at this point. You damn right. You damn right. They're trying to freeze Crawford out at this point. Wouldn't you? If I was freaking Al Haymon, I'd try to freeze Crawford out too. He'd wipe out the whole PBC welterweights. And listen, my man 704 Joe. I know you're a Texas boy. But look, I don't think it should be 60-40. I think that fight should be split 50-50 down the middle. Or what you could do is you can give the fighters 30% a piece or whatever percentage split a piece, and the winner can get the extra percentage. But I don't think that either fighter should be favored. Neither one of them is a big star. You can't. Even if Errol Spence has done more on pay-per-view, he's not a transcendent star. So I don't think he's in a position to truly dictate terms like that. You know, he's not even the biggest star at welterweight. To be honest with you, if you want to keep it a buck, he's not even the biggest star at welterweight. Manny Pacquiao is. So, like, look, if Terrence Crawford fights Manny Pacquiao and he whoops Manny Pacquiao and he beats Manny Pacquiao, then what? Is it still 60-40 or does it change all of a sudden? What do you think? What do you think, man? Think about it. The WBA strips Pacquiao, but not Leo Santa Cruz, who makes less money and is coming off a KO loss. It only makes sense that Al Haymon made that call to get Manny stripped. And then, you know what? And what makes it even crazier, right? What makes it even more crazier is that he was, not only did he get it stripped for him, not only did the belt get stripped from Manny Pacquiao, it got gifted to an Al Haymon fighter. It's with Ugas now. So, you know, if it all, what you're saying, it all lines up. Like it all lines up. So I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, if Crawford beats a Manny Pacquiao, that ain't no 70-30 fight no more. It really isn't. It really isn't, man. What was I gonna talk about? I had some other things I was gonna talk about. All right, I want to move on to the next subject unless somebody comes in. You know, I want to keep it moving. Another thing I wanted to talk about, because this was brought to my attention today, and I thought it would be something interesting to touch on. Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. I mean, I didn't think, if there's one person in boxing I didn't think I'd be talking about this week in 2021. I didn't think it'd be Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He's come out in wake of the Canelo Alvarez fight, and he said he wants a rematch, but not just any rematch. Listen to this. He said, I quote, "I repeat with these rivals, the only thing that implies that you want to generate money, and I am not going to charge you anything. I will fight for free with Canelo, and he will not recognize it. I wouldn't win more money with anyone than a rematch with me. With no one, the only condition is 175. No money. Win Canelo, but one way or another, cannot give viewers a worthy show, especially when he claims to be the best. A rival Yildirim without 2 years without getting into a ring. I can get on Canelo, and I do not charge." This quote was he drunk with this quote? This quote seems all it seems like he was jittery and couldn't piece his words together rightly. But from what he can say, from what I'm making out, it looks like Chavez Jr. is essentially saying that he'll fight Canelo for free, that he wants all the smoke with Canelo, and that he's willing to run it back and not get paid anything. Now, when we talk about Chavez Jr., he just fought that guy. I can't even remember his name, but he fought that guy, that Mexican guy that beat Canelo in the amateurs, and he quit against him. And before that fight, he fought Daniel Jacobs, and he quit against him. So he's developed a reputation in boxing as being a quitter, and people do not like quitters. And you know, would I want to see Canelo Alvarez fight Chavez Jr. ever again, even if he did fight him for free? Hell no, because when he fought him the first time, that fight was almost similar to what we saw at Yildirim. It was basically a live sparring session at the T-Mobile Arena. It was a sparring session and pretty much just one big ass commercial for the first Golovkin fight. Because if you guys remember correctly, when Chavez fought Canelo, you know, after the fight, they had Golovkin come out to the ring like in this WWE style entrance, and it was a spectacle, man. It was a straight spectacle. So I don't want to see Chavez fight Canelo or any top fighters, because the reality with Chavez is this. And I hate to kick the man when he's down, but like, wherever he is when it comes to boxing, you know, fuckery seems to follow. Tomfoolery seems to follow, and we don't want none of that. So I feel like if Chavez wants to get a Canelo fight, he should win a couple fights. Win a couple fights, look good, create some demand for it, and you can go back in there with him again. But like, not right now, especially not after what we just saw in Miami. How Canelo Alvarez went to South Florida and disgraced South Florida with that shit show he put on. You know what I'm saying? Chavez Jr. don't be giving Matchroom any ideas. They might be. Don't give Eddie Hearn any ideas. Eddie Hearn will do it. You know, and the crazy thing is this, right? When Chavez fought Daniel Jacobs in December of 2019, he was looking good that fight. Like they were competitive rounds. And I was sitting there thinking for a second, you know what? Chavez Jr. is gonna really give Daniel Jacobs problems. He might win this fight, and if he would have won that fight, there's no way in hell he wouldn't have gotten a Canelo rematch, because the demand would have been there, the money would have been there, the Mexican television would have been there, everything would have been there. But like he's had the opportunities to get what he's asking for, but he blew it because he quit. And I don't know why he quit. Maybe I don't know if he quit because he just doesn't have the heart. I don't know if he quit because he was out of shape and just doesn't train hard enough. But whatever the reason it is, no matter how you cut it, slice it, and dice it, reality is that he quit. So that's what it is, man. But it's your boy BT, the untouchable True School Sports Empire. We're live here on YouTube. You know, I'm chilling with you guys right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, but I will be live tomorrow as well. So I'm gonna continue to make these lives. You guys, all I'm saying is you guys are gonna get a steady diet of lives, of lives during the week, and obviously on Saturdays and whenever there's fights. So yeah. Let me see what else was there. What else did today? There's quite a lot that happened in boxing. I wanted to, another thing I'll talk about, kind of get back to take it back to Cinnamon Boy Canelo Alvarez. So there's been a lot of rumors recently about SOG Andre Ward, Pastor Ward, coming back to boxing. I've heard. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I myself, I'm not gonna tell you who my sources are, but I've heard from a couple of sources in boxing through the grapevine that Andre Ward, once Canelo's finished this year with his fights with Billy Joe if he wins and Caleb Plant if he wins, I heard that Canelo's first fight in 2021 will be against Andre Ward. Now I don't know how true that is. I don't know if to believe it or not, but it seems to line up because Andre Ward's on social media posting stuff like he's posting videos of him training, talking about my hands still work and all this stuff. And he's referenced fighting Canelo in the past. It's something he's referenced in the past that he wants to do. So why wouldn't it happen? If the itch is still there, he's not at an age where he's completely lost his athletic ability. He's only 36 years old. He retired pretty early. He retired at the age of 32. There's not a lot of wear and tear on his body. His body's had 4 years to rest. So who's to say that with a tune-up fight or two tune-up fights, he wouldn't be ready for Canelo Alvarez, And I think that'd be a great matchup because Andre Ward has the attributes to beat Canelo Alvarez. He has the grit. He has the smarts. He has the determination. He has the feet. He's got it all to beat Canelo Alvarez. And to me, even though Andre Ward isn't a big pay-per-view fighter on his own, with Canelo, that's a box office fight. That is a box office fight. You have the last American gold medalist and a man who retired undefeated, who was the number one guy at 168, who then went on to establish himself as the number one guy at 175 for a very short period of time. But he was 32 wins, 32 fights, 32 wins, storybook career. You couldn't have drawn it up any better. That guy's coming back off a 4-year layoff at an older, more advanced age to take on the face of boxing. How can you not want that fight? Look, if those of you who have been watching me for a prolonged period of time, you guys know I don't like Andre Ward. He was never a favorite of mine. I said some mean things about him in the past, but I would be gassed if that fight happened. Like they said, you know what? Andre Ward's coming back. He's gonna get a tune-up fight, and after that tune-up fight, he's gonna fight Canelo. I'd be gassed as hell for that fight because anything is better than what we got these last two fights. These last two Canelo fights have been absolute, as the Brits would say, rubbish. Rubbish. Chase Athletic says Everton 1, Southampton's 0. Exactly. The untouchable Everton Football Club. We here, man. Shout out to Everton and Gylfi Sigurdsson and Richarlison on a great goal today. Up the Toffees. We're still in the race for the Champions League spots. Shout out to Carlo Ancelotti. It's been a very interesting season for Everton. But yeah, thank you, Chase. Thank you. Thanks for the reminder. Eddie Hearn will send Chavez a fight for free first contract with the rematch clause in case of an upset with a 90-10 split in favor of Canelo. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was just talking to one of my friends a couple days ago, and I was telling him, man, like Eddie Hearn, he could sell water to a whale, man. This guy is a freaking used car salesman. That's what Eddie Hearn reminds me of. Right? He's a damn used car salesman. I feel like every time I see Eddie Hearn, he's gonna screw me over on financing a car. My main man, Keenan KTV, he says the untouchable True School Sports Empire. What's good, Keenan? How you living, champ? Hope you're well. 168 is the easiest division. Canelo will wait until big names like Berlanga, Charlo, Benavidez, and Morel get bigger and then move to 160. You're right. You're probably right. He'll probably go to 160 and fight Murata. Or maybe he'll fight Anthony Durrell or some shit like that. Like I could see Canelo pulling something like that. It's not beyond him. Nothing is beyond him. Truth be told. Andre Ward said he would win a heavyweight title before he retires. He did say that. And he said Andre Ward ducked Lil G. I don't want to go down that road again, champ. Anytime I talk about that, people get crazy. So we're not gonna talk too much about Andre Ward and the Triple G saga. Yo, this would be a good fight. I wouldn't mind seeing this. You know, this would be. In fact, if Andre Ward comes back, this should be his comeback fight. I want to see Andre Ward versus Chavez Jr. That would be amazing. Chavez, Andre Ward right now, you know, as much as he hasn't been in boxing, I think he would come out of retirement right now and absolutely straight just batter. He would batter Chavez Jr. in my opinion, in my humble opinion. Fresh BX, shout out to you, champ. He says also Andre Ward is never making 168 again. He probably won't. He probably won't make 168 again. But you know, I think he hasn't formally came out and said it recently, but I think that he wants to fight Canelo. I think he will come back. That's my opinion. All right, we got someone here, so I'm not sure who this is. It says it's Johnny Boy, but let's see who. What up, Johnny Boy?
It's Johnny Boy, bro.
Oh shit! Okay, what's up, Johnny Boy?
yeah, no, it's Johnny Boy, bro.
Yeah, I saw. I saw the picture and I was like, okay, I'm not sure because you never know.
No, that's just Thug Rose right there, bro. That's what.
Yeah, man. What's up?
Nothing chilling. What we talking about, Teofimo?
Oh, what? Yeah, that's what we started talking about. That's what we started talking about the whole Triller situation.
Yeah, bro. I mean, look, bro. He here's the thing with that. He's still under contract with Top Rank. I think he's just going over there for a one-off and rob the bank real quick, and then he'll be back fighting on ESPN. That's what I think's going to happen. But you know,
or who knows, man? Maybe for all of his fights, he'll just go to Triller. They put the money up. If the first one does well enough, I think Triller will be willing to pay overpay again if he does good enough.
That wouldn't surprise me. That wouldn't surprise me either. I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens, dog. I mean, what are they saying? June for that fight?
Like late May 29th.
Late May, early June. Okay. Yeah. He's got his options, man. The kid's got his options. That's for sure. I mean, he's in the driver's seat now. So, shit.
He's where you want to be, man. What did you see the Lomachenko Devin Haney tweets today?
Devin Haney's a bitch, dog. That dude's a fucking dude. Him and his crusty ass dad are fucking jokes.
I wanted to ask you because I was watching your live one day. Did you have some sort of like verbal altercation with Bill Haney?
Dude, I was on Punch Drunk's channel the one time. He's like, you want some smoke? You want some smoke? Ooh. I'm like, okay. I didn't even say nothing right then. I said, I'm just gonna trash your son whenever he opens his fucking mouth now from now on, bro. And see, you wanted to come with me with that type of energy, bro. I'm just gonna bitch slap your kid whenever.
Like, what led to that?
I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. I said, bro, you all need. The only thing I said up to that point, the only thing I had said was, the kid needs to shut up and go fight somebody.
I agree. I think he should put his damn phone down and sign a contract to fight somebody notable.
And then the dude, I said, well, bro, if it's a problem, I said, Bill, I'll fight you on the same undercard your son fights Teofimo on, and then both of y'all can get your asses beat. To be honest with you,
you told him that?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't there when I said that, but I let it be known, bro. And he's like, oh. Well, first you got to sign a 3-fight contract, and I want to see you fight a couple of the LDBC guys and blah, blah. I'm like, nah, fuck out of here, bro. You a clown.
Yeah, man.
I'm just sick of their mouths, bro. It's like, dude, you haven't even earned a shot at Teo. First, you got to fight somebody in the top 10, son. You don't go from fucking the 7th grade to college, bro. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Like, yeah, like it's. And Gamboa is the 7th grade. Old ass Gamboa.
The corpse of Gamboa.
Yeah, Gamboa's corpse coming off a knockout loss to Tank Davis, bro, isn't getting you an undisputed fight, dog. That's you know.
Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not. I mean, it goes without saying, but I'll ask you anyway. What did you think about the Canelo fight this past weekend?
It was a fucking joke. It was a joke. Complete joke. Circus show, bro.
A lot of people were asking me, they were like, "Yeah, BT, why aren't you at the fight?" And I said, because it's gonna be a shit show. That's why I'm not at the fight, and I'm out of town right now.
Yeah, it was a joke, man. I was like, if people were telling me, "Oh, if you don't watch this fight, you're not a boxing fan," and blah blah. I'm like, bro, you don't even have any idea, dog. I was fucking watching the sport before you even a thought in your daddy's nuts. Stop it.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
These mama Lukes need to know their place, man.
Yeah, man. I'm like, bro. And I did watch it anyway, just because the reason I was gonna watch it was because of the Julio Cesar Martinez and Arroyo fight.
Yeah,
and then that got canceled. I'm like, Jesus. So I just stuck it out, and I was like, all right, fuck it. I'll, whatever. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
and it was a shit show, like I said it was gonna be.
And the thing is, I know you're a big Miami Dolphins fan. They disgraced the field, man. They disgraced the field by putting that shit on there.
I was like, I said that on my commentary, bro, when I was doing the blow by blow. I'm like, dog, this guy should never be in the fucking Dolphin Stadium ever at any time, bro. Nah.
Yeah.
You can go play at Dallas, Texas, bro, or some shit. Nah, fuck it.
Yeah, man. So someone asked me before the car started. They were like, "Oh, BT, what's your favorite fight? What's your favorite fight on the undercard?" And I said, the whole fight is a freaking undercard.
Yeah, it is.
The whole fight, the whole card was an undercard.
Yeah, it was. They should have put Canelo on Chocolatito Estrada's undercard. Is what they should.
That's right. That's right. They should do that and then what made it worse, right? Is like I was really interested before the fight started to see like how DAZN was gonna gas up a win over Avni Yildirim, and lo and behold, they did. They found a way to gas it up. They're like, we're witnessing greatness. We're witnessing history. What fucking history? What history are we? What are we witnessing? The live sparring?
Yeah, bro. That shit was pathetic, man. Fucking Clarissa Shields could have beat even Evie Yildirim or whatever the fuck his name is. That shit was just. It was despicable, bro. I can't. Here's the thing, bro. I can't get too mad at him for the Billy Joe fight just because it's a unification. But in the same breath, Billy Joe Saunders hasn't done anything in 5 years since he fought Lemieux, bro. Like, you want some, like, I like Crawford, but his undisputed run was weak. And Canelo's on par with that shit as far as I'm concerned, bro. Like, none of these dudes are proven, bro. Plant ain't fought nobody. Fucking I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, the only three guys that like I would like to see Canelo fight are Demetrius Andrade, Bivol, or Benavidez, and those are the three guys you never hear him call out.
I would either them three, or I wouldn't mind seeing a third Golovkin fight. I've always been.
I'll pass on that.
You pass on that? Okay, that's fair enough. But I wouldn't mind seeing that, and then I wouldn't. And Beterbiev is the other one.
I think he'd beat honestly, I think he would beat Beterbiev.
You think so?
Yeah, because I was watching some of Beterbiev's fights, like some of his earlier fights, like when he was a prospect or when he was coming up the ranks. Most people don't realize he's chinny. He is chinny. He's chinny. Like
that. That's why I want to see him and Joe Smith Jr. so bad, bro. Because when that Vlasov fight got canceled, I was so upset, dog. Because Joe Smith is kind of like me, bro. Like that motherfucker kind of like me, man. Like I was real disappointed that didn't happen, man. Real disappointed.
When you say that Joe Smith Jr. is like you, like what exactly do you mean by that?
Well, I mean, like when I was boxing back in the days, like I kind of fought like him. We're like the same size. He's like 5'11", 6 foot, you know, and he used to work construction. I used to work construction. It's just He's just a knockaround guy, bro. Like that's like me, you know.
Yeah, blue collar, like meat and potatoes guy.
Yeah, right. Take your lunch pail to work every day, type shit. Right.
Yeah. One SSS. He says thank you for shitting on Adrian Broner.
Bro, I'll be shitting on that man until he retires at boxing, and probably after that too.
When people talk about Adrian Broner, one thing that like gets me so annoyed is the narrative that like if he just let his hands go, he'd be this like Hall of Fame fighter. He'd be this A-level fighter.
They say that after every fight. Well, if he let his hands go, he could have made something happen. Well, he didn't, bro. That's on him.
And I tell them, and my response to that is, if I was 6'7", I'd be the starting small forward for the Charlotte Hornets. Like, what the hell does that mean? If you let his hands go, he'd be better. Like, okay, like he didn't do it. We don't live in a world of ifs. Boxing and sports in general, it's a results based business.
Yeah. Between me and you, just because I know you're feeling the same way, but I got Chocolatito knocking Estrada out, bro. I haven't told nobody that.
I hope so, man. I really hope so. I'm gonna be there. So.
You gonna be there? Oh, that's.
I'll be there. I'm gonna try my best to go. I want to go live while I'm in the arena. That
would be dope. Where is that at? In Texas?
Yeah, it's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas.
Mavericks Arena.
There you go. How far would you fly out there or drive from Florida?
I would fly out there. Yeah, I'd fly out there, and I am.
Oh, okay. No. I was just gonna say, how long is the drive from Florida? I've never been to Texas before, bro. Yeah.
Oh, Texas is a great place, man. I love Texas.
Yeah, I know. I want to go there. I've never been there. It's better than fucking Chicago and Milwaukee. So.
Yeah. What's the weather like there right now?
It ain't too bad today. It's like 35 or 40, but
that sounds horrible.
Yeah. Last week, bro, it was below zero. I was telling these dudes Unrivaled and some of the guys from England and Ireland and shit. They're like translating it from Fahrenheit to Celsius. They're like, oh, Jesus Christ, bro. You're in fucking freezing. I said, I know, man. It sucks. But it is what it is, man.
That Midwest that Midwest cold hits a bit different. But that's why the Midwest always seems to produce so many great fighters, because the conditions are like fighting conditions.
Yeah. I mean, well, it was more so back in the old days too. Like you had fucking like Tony Zale was from Chicago, fucking Stanley Ketchell's from Michigan, fucking Pryor was from Ohio. Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Hawk.
Yeah, R.I.P. the Hawk. Who else we had out here? Fucking Ezra Charles was from Cincinnati. There's a few of them, bro. Yeah, there's a few of them.
Okay. Yeah, man. I mean, this week in boxing is like there's like nothing. There's like almost not. I don't want to say there's nothing going on, but it's like nothing intriguing. Like Clarissa Shields' fight is a pay-per-view fight. It's like $30.
Bro, you couldn't pay. They should be paying me to watch that shit. Yeah, dude. What I'm doing is this is what I just usually do when boxing's kind of bleak for the weekend. I'm going to cover the UFC fights this weekend. That's always my bounce back if there ain't much going on in boxing, because I just love the fight game, period. So
I feel you. I'm glad you can do that. I can't do that because I'm not really a UFC. I can't. I don't like UFC like that.
Well, see, you know what the thing is, bro. Because I used to do karate and all that. Like I know all that shit, except the only thing I don't know is like the wrestling and that kind of shit. That's where you kind of lose me. But like everything else, I'm. So.
Yeah, that Khabib shit. You don't know about that.
Nah, I don't know about that. Yeah, so I always got to fall back on that if there ain't nothing going on with boxing,
Yeah, man. And then the week after Chocolatito fights, we got Verge Ortiz versus Maurice Hooker. That's not gonna be that's not a bad fight.
No, not at all. That's a nice little step up for Virgil. I picked Virgil to win. I think he's gonna knock Hooker out, man. But
I think so too. The real main event though on that card is Sinisa Estrada fighting for the world title. She's fighting for the WBA title.
Oh yeah,
That's the real main event.
see, I don't even know. Yeah, who's Sanisa Estrada? Is she related to El Gallo Estrada?
No, she's not. She's not.
Oh,
she's way too attractive to be related to Gallo Estrada.
Ooh, you seen? I know you don't fuck with the UFC too much. Did you see that the Puerto Rican broad Valerie?
She's not Puerto Rican. She's Cuban and she's from Miami. I know all about Valerie Loredo. I know where she trains. I know everything.
Yeah, she's banging. She's nice looking. She's nice looking.
Yeah, I mean, she's really attractive. I know a lot of girls like back home that look like her.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I went to high school with girls that look like her. So like I'm like, oh snap, she looks like a couple of people I know. So it's weird.
Yeah, she looks nice. She's nice looking. That one.
Yeah. Hawker Mustang says that Clarissa Shields is mad that she is a champ and she hasn't even had a $1 million payday yet. BT. Well, the thing is, like, look, I like Clarissa, and I actually had a chance to I saw her a couple of weeks ago at a local card in Miami, and she was nice to me and stuff. We had a good conversation, but like, she just like nobody like the Bronx Tale says, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares, Kaladrov. Nobody cares. Yeah.
That's why we're at with Clarissa Shields. I mean, I wish her the best. Like, I'm gonna cover her fight. You know, I'm not sure I'm gonna pay, but I'm gonna cover her fight. But like, the lion's share of the world does not care about Clarissa Shields. And part of the reason why I think they don't care about her is because she's like, she complains too much. You can't be a woman. Like, for me, I think if you're gonna be successful as a women's fighter, you can't be complaining. You can't be complaining about men when men are most of your audience.
Right.
Because I don't remember the last time I heard a woman say, "Hey, honey, I'm gonna take a hour break and go watch this Clarissa Shields fight." I don't hear that.
Yeah, nah, that ain't happening, bro. I'll probably watch it. I doubt I'll do like commentary and all that shit. That probably ain't gonna happen. But
yeah, man, y'all getting wild up in these comments, man. Slow Tello says Eddie Hearn hit Valerie Loredo low key. Hey man, that's their business. I ain't worried about what Eddie Hearn got going on.
Good for Eddie Hearn, shit.
Yeah, good for anybody, really.
Yeah, right. I'm sure Masvidal probably tore that shit up, but yeah,
probably. Hyro says the girls in Florida have assets. I can confirm that this is true.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I can confirm that too. For all the times I've lived down there in spurts, yeah. I can confirm that.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm glad you brought this up, Slow Tello. He says Andy Reid is fighting a cherry. So you heard about who Andy Reid is fighting, right?
Bro, that shit's pathetic.
Chris Arreola.
Fucking I actually, the thing is, bro, I like Arreola. He reminds me of some of the cats I grew up with and shit. But come on, dog. Come on. I said they should have had Andy Ruiz fight Luis Ortiz, bro. That'd be a good little fight right there.
That would have been that would have been a nice comeback fight.
Right.
You know, he would have got tested. That would have been a perfect fight to put on like Fox.
Right. Yeah. And that'll get some good numbers on regular TV too. Mm-hmm. Right. Exactly. And but come on, man. And they you heard they're putting that on pay-per-view, dog?
What? Andy Reis?
Yeah.
Oh my god. You know, boxing's having this problem right now. Like, I don't know if you noticed, but like all these cards are on pay-per-view. Like, and it's not even just like with the big networks, like the smaller like cards. Like, there was a card in Miami like 2 weeks ago. This welterweight named Harold Calderon. I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's not like a big.
I heard the name. Yeah.
Yeah, Harold Calderon. Like he fought, and his fight was a pay-per-view fight, and it was $30. I'm like, you can't be charging $30.
Yeah.
Nobody knows. Like I cover boxing, and like most of my subscribers don't even know who you are. So how are you going to sell pay-per-views?
See, here's my thing, BT. If I feel like they earned my money, I'll pay for it. If AJ and Fury fight, I'll pay for that. If Taylor Ramirez, I'll pay for that. If Pacquiao and Crawford was the fight, I'd pay for that. But I'm not paying for bullshit, bro. Like that shit we saw last week with the Canelo, or a couple days ago. Yeah,
that was $50.
Yeah, and I ain't got cash like that, so you're out of your mind. yeah. So I'm not. Yeah, that ain't happening.
If you're gonna go broke, it better be worth it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Like if Cholatito and Estrada was pay-per-view, I'd pay for it.
I'd pay for that. Right.
I'd pay $100 for that. Honestly.
Yeah, yeah. I would pay for that. I would pay for that.
You know?
Or like I say, even Taylor Ramirez, I'd pay for that, bro. If they put that on for $65 or something, yeah, sure. But nah, fucking like I'm not paying to watch Jake Paul fight Ben Askren. Like, you out of your damn mind, bro. Fuck out.
No, you aren't gonna do that, and I'm not gonna do that. But there's plenty of 9-year-old little boys and girls that are gonna do that.
Yeah, I know, man.
Yo, early in the life, I was talking about how like when I was going to the gyms like to train a lot, like back in December, I'd run into a lot of kids at the gym, and I'd be talking to them, and they would tell me that they start like there were like 4 or 5 kids that I ran into that literally told me that they started boxing because of Jake Paul.
Oh, bro, that's bad. That's bad, man.
Why? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing if they're going to the gym if they stick with it. I don't know.
Yeah, if that's what's getting them into it, that's cool. But in the same breath, like the kid shouldn't be like looking up to that motherfucker like that. I'm aspiring to be that dude because he's a clown. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jake Paul. He said he did a video recently, and he was like, I saw it on a podcast, and he was like, they asked him what's harder, boxing or being a YouTuber. He said being a YouTuber.
He ain't been in enough fights to say that yet, man.
He hasn't been in a fight, to be honest with you. Like, okay, he's fought a basketball player, and he fought an Arabian YouTuber.
Yeah, he fought a basketball player that was half his size and some.
That's what I'm saying. So like, he needs to fight someone. He could fight like he should fight like Clay Collard or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Fight like some low level pro. Like fight like I don't know. Fight Josecito Lopez or some shit.
Oh, Josecito would beat the shit. I think he would beat the hell out of Jake.
What's Jake Paul's weight class? Do you know?
He's like, what is he, like 5'11", 6 foot? So
something probably like
he's probably like 160, 168, something like, I would imagine, something like that. Shit, have him fight Anthony Durrell.
Yo, Anthony Durrell. If Anthony Durrell would have beat Jake Paul, he would get a Canelo fight because he'd be famous as hell.
Yeah, true that. Or have him fight. Shit, who could we throw him in there with?
There you go. Darnell Boone.
Yeah, Darnell Boone. There we go. Boom, right there.
That'd be a wrap. That'd be a massacre.
Yeah.
Yuri Foreman. My man say Yuri Foreman.
Yeah, Yuri Foreman. That's a good call.
The Rabbi. Could you imagine if Jake Paul got knocked out by the Rabbi?
Fucking. Yeah, there you go, Hawker. Have him fight Chavez Jr. There you go. That's perfect.
That's a win-win. Whoever gets knocked out.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, fucking. Did you see Tyson? He called out Jake. Tyson Fury called that kid out. Oh, bro, Tyson.
He did? He called out. They called to fight Tommy Fury. Well, he might as well because Tommy Fury's been fighting opponents that are just as bad as what Jake Paul's been fighting.
Yeah, Tommy Fury's a pretty boy, bro.
Tommy Fury, his last opponent was like 0-9, and the opponent before that was like 0-11.
Yeah. Them two dudes deserve each other. He said Charlie's Zelenoff versus Jake Paul. Yeah, something like that. That's a good call.
It's crazy. Jake Paul versus Robin Deacon. Oh my God, the world's worst boxer. Guy has like 100+ losses. If Jake Paul fought that guy and lost to him, I would laugh my ass off.
That shit was funny as hell. That should be funny as hell.
Oh, we got Rap Star. Shout out to Rap Star. Respect from London. Shout out to New London.
Salute, Rap Star. What's going on, bro?
Let me see. We got my man. Hold on. What else? Who else we got? No one can beat the Chinese Dragon Zhang in the heavyweight division. You being serious?
Bro.
You can't be serious, low blow boxing. You gotta be trolling me heavy.
I like that dude, but he looked bad the other night. I like the guy, but he didn't look too good the other night.
Hey, I think if Jerry Forrest fights in the rematch, I think he's gonna beat him.
Yeah, I mean, he pretty much shit from fucking round 4 on. He pretty much won every round. He just got dropped a couple times, Yeah.
Yeah, like he gasses out real quickly. G, or they call him the Big Bang Zhang.
Big Bang Zhang, yeah. I like the dude, man, but yeah, he ain't. Nah, come on.
Nah, they were talking about him matching him with like Hergovic and Joe Joyce. They better keep him the hell away from them guys.
Yeah, them dudes would smoke that guy.
If they care about that man's well-being, they better keep him as far away as possible. Put that man in straight witness protection.
Yeah. I want to see that. I want to see Hergovic and Michael Hunter like they was talking about. That's a good ass fight right there, bro.
Slow Teller says, "Did you see Christopher Lovejoy on IG? He keeps posting about how he's the GOAT and he's retired with all 19 knockouts."
Who the fuck?
I did see that. Do you know about him, Johnny? Christopher Lovejoy?
Nah, who's that?
He's like this heavyweight, and he was like somehow he got ranked in the WBA, and all he ever fought was like Mexican bin men. And he's 19-0 with 19 knockouts. And he went on Instagram the other day, and he said that he's retiring from boxing because nobody wants to fight him. And he said, "I can't believe I retired as the GOAT."
Yeah, that's funny.
I actually met Christopher Lovejoy in I think it was January. I met him in January. He was at one of the cards, and he was cool. But yeah, like I think he's just doing it for publicity. Like the guy is really good at marketing himself on social media.
Yeah, I was just gonna say he's just stirring some shit up. That's all that is.
Hira wants to know: do you think Masvidal will be a good crossover to boxing, and how would you feel about a Usman rematch?
They are gonna have an Usman rematch, bro. They already said that they're gonna have that in August or September, late summer. But dude, here's what's gonna happen with Masvidal, bro. In my opinion, he's gonna have that rematch with Usman. He's gonna fight Colby, and he's gonna retire, bro. He's gonna get 2 fat ass paydays because he's 36, going on 37, bro. It's a little too. He could hang in boxing. Don't get me wrong, because Masvidal's got nice hands, but it's a little late in the game to get something started like that. I reckon, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
we'll see, man. I'd be interested. I'd be like intrigued to see what he does in boxing.
Yeah, I'd watch it for sure. I'd definitely watch it.
SSB says, BT, who's better, Prime Floyd or this current Canelo? Now I know Johnny might have something to say about this because you don't like either of these guys.
No, but
you don't like either of them. But I actually like Floyd, and yeah, I'm gonna go with Floyd.
No, I agree, bro. I as much as I don't like Floyd, the motherfucker was arguably the best defensive boxer we've ever seen. But
and what most people don't realize is that before he was one of the best defensive boxers ever, he was like one of the best offensive fighters in the sport when he was fighting.
Yeah, young Floyd, right? No, I still gotta put Floyd above Canelo, bro.
Yeah, man. Freaking Hawker Mustang says, BT versus H Money. Nah, I'm not gonna fight H Money. Me and him are cool. We hashed it out. Like I'll forgive the guy. There's no reason for me to like hate on the guy anymore. Life's too short.
Yeah, no. He hashed it up with me too. So
yeah, I heard he hashed it out with everybody because like he called me one night and he was like, "Yeah, man, you know, when I did that shit with Senior and kind of screwed you over, like a lot of people stopped fucking with me." So he apologized. So I'm not gonna hold anything against him.
Nah, it's all water under the bridge. That's what I say. But
Punch Drunk Boxing, Mr. Moonshine, what's good, champ? How you living? You all right?
What's up, Punch? What's going on?
Punch Drunk making waves. He making waves, man. I've been watching.
He was just live an hour or so ago. I
saw him over there. He was doing his thing.
Yeah, I just went up in there and said what up to him real fast, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Floyd, but
how tall are you? How much do you weigh? How tall am I? I'm tall enough, and I weigh enough. Now I'm like 5'5", 5'6", maybe. I'm not a big guy. 135 ish.
Yeah.
Just don't run up on me, and you'll be all right.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Right, exactly.
Yeah. Oh snap! Low blow boxing. He said Punch is on Teal's payroll. We got beef, bro. And my El Jefe boys, we got beef, bro.
Shit, I'm cool with Teo and his dad too, bro. So you
I'm cool with Teo and his dad. I have the number. I'm in the little like they have like this group chat on WhatsApp. I'm in the group chat. I see what's going on.
Yeah, they good peeps.
I like them, you know, and honestly, I can't hate on Teo because number one, whether he wants to acknowledge it or not, he's from South Florida, and number two, he's fighting the best people. He's doing what all these other young fighters should be doing.
Exactly. He's doing what the rest of these boys should be doing, but they ain't doing. Exactly.
A fact.
Fucking Devin Haney. Fuck out of here. Dude, bro, that shit. I'm like, yo, I just put up a video this morning. I'm like, yo, this kid is like exactly what's wrong with boxing these days. Like it's a perfect fucking example of is Devin. That's a perfect example of what's wrong with boxing, bro. Like flat out.
What specifically about Devin is wrong with boxing from your perspective?
He talks a lot of shit. He thinks he's entitled to big fights without going through nobody, bro. Like it's pathetic, dog. It's lame, and like I say, Bill makes him look fucking stupider as it is, bro. So it's just like you talk so much shit, you big Twitter guy, and all this. Just run up, just shut your mouth and go fight somebody. I don't care if it's Linares, Nakatani, Richard Comey, whoever, bro. Just shut the fuck up and go fight somebody. Like seriously, that's what's wrong with the sport, bro. Like you talk a big game and you ain't on nothing. You know, like
you really went to the UK and went to a crowded pub to watch AJ versus Ruiz too. I did. That was an experience and a half. I'd do it again. I would definitely do it again. What were your thoughts on Keyshawn Davis's debut on the Canelo undercard? It was a great performance. You know, Keyshawn's like one of the top amateurs from America, and there's a lot of high hopes for him in the pros. It wasn't like anything that I didn't expect. You know, it was how a guy of his caliber should be fighting in a debut against a no-hoper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's as well as you could put it.
Yeah. Haney versus Nakatani would be a dope fight. I might fear Nakatani by KO. I just want to see that fight because, like, the one thing I question about Devin Haney, I know he's got some skills and whatnot, but you know we never really seen Devin Haney punched in his mouth. So I want to see if he's got that durability. Can he take a beating and will he get discouraged and fold up when he faces the first sign of adversity under the lights?
What would you say if he fought Linares? What would you say to that, BT?
I mean, considering who he's fought recently, it'd be a massive step up. But like Linares is old too. I mean, Linares isn't that far removed from getting stopped by Pablo Cesar Cano in one round at 140.
Yeah, true, but that's true. But that was at a different weight or whatever. But still, but even that, I would say, is even that's fucking light years.
My thing is this, right? We know Linares is very chinny, and if Devin Haney knocks out Linares, what the hell does that tell us? We just know Linares is chinny.
True, this is true.
So yeah, I that for me, I wouldn't want to see that fight, but if it happens, it's better than what we've been getting.
You just be neutral on it. You just be
like I don't feel I don't hate the fight, but I don't like it.
You don't have nothing against it, but it doesn't blow your socks off either. Exactly. Yeah, I hear you.
BT, do you think Fox will drop the PBC if they don't tighten up? If PBC don't tighten up and start putting some blockbuster fights on Fox, then yeah. Because a lot of the times PBC puts their most ass fights on Fox, which they shouldn't be doing. Like they should be putting some of the best fights on Fox. They do the opposite. Yeah,
they be putting some funky ass fight. I do like some of them cards. I'm just like, nah, bro. I can't even. Nah, man.
Like, and most of the time, it like the fights on the card are just like non-competitive bouts. Just like nothing is competitive on those cards usually.
It's just 3 or 4 blowouts, bro. And you're like, what the fuck did I even waste my time watching this bullshit for? Like, seriously.
I was watching last night. I was catching up on the card that was going on during the Canelo fight, which might have been better than the Canelo card actually. I watched the 2 prospects that fought on the card, that Vito Melnecki and Jesus Ramos, the 2 welterweights. They both had separate fights on the card, and like they just beat the shit out of their opponents.
yeah. I saw the Vito. I saw the highlights from the Vito kid. Yeah, he looked good. He beat the fuck. Beat the shit out of dude. Yeah, man. What's it called, bro? Listen, man. All I want, I don't think. Do you think we're gonna get AJ and Fury? Or you think they blowing smoke, bro?
I think they're blowing smoke until I see the fight poster. Until I see the fight poster and they have everything lined up, I think everything they say is blowing smoke. That's why, like, when Anthony Joshua, I know Anthony Joshua recently came out and said that, you know, they're gonna announce something for June, but they haven't announced anything for June. So like whatever they say about the fight, I don't even make videos about it anymore. It's a waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, dog. I'm in the same fucking thing. Yeah, and all I want, bro, just don't jerk me off with that Jose Ramirez Josh Taylor fight, bro. That's one of the best fights that can be made in boxing, bro. They better not fuck around with that one, dog. That's
what we need. That's what we need, man.
That's the kind of shit we need, right?
Yeah,
Fury, AJ, you know, I got my doubts if that happens, but I want that damn Taylor Ramirez fight, though.
Who are you favoring in that fight between Ramirez and Taylor?
Taylor.
Okay. Smart man, smart money. I got Taylor too. You know, I gotta pick Taylor because of his last name.
I thought Ramirez lost the Postal, but
I did too. But like, I hate when I talk to like people, like, because a lot of times I'll talk to people like in the boxing world, and I'll tell them, yeah, you know, Victor Postal beat Ramirez. Oh no, he didn't. He had some success early on, but Ramirez came back. I'm like, he didn't come back and do shit. He got outboxed from the outside almost the whole fight. Well, what are you talking about? Like this guy's supposed to beat Josh Taylor. This guy's supposed to be Teofimo Lopez. Like I follow Jose Ramirez's manager on Instagram, and I see his posts sometimes, and he has these long elaborate posts about how if Teofimo Lopez moves up to 140, that Jose Ramirez is gonna beat the shit out of him. And I'm like, dude, are you living in reality?
Yeah, that's a bold statement right there.
Jose Ramirez, when he talks right now, he already sounds like he's halfway punch drunk. When he fights Teofimo might fuck around and retire him.
And a lot of people thought Zepeda beat him too.
Yeah, I thought it was close. Could have went either way.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I thought too. Yeah.
But like Jose Ramirez, to me, like the best win of his career, the best I ever seen him was when he fought Hooker.
Yeah.
Hooker is good. Like, don't get me wrong. Hooker was a solid fighter, and I think he was an overachiever at 140. But like, you know, that's not like He's not like a crazy great fighter.
Nah,
not at all. He's always been chinny.
Like I say, his two best ones are Zepeda and Postal, and those are both questionable. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
Oh,
this would be a good one right here. He said Regis versus Tia would be fire.
That would be a banger. That's what I think. I think Teofimo's gonna have the Kambosos fight at the Triller or whatever, and then I think he'll go back and fight on ESPN, bro, because all the 140 aside of Prograis, that whole division's at fucking at Top Rank, bro. 140.
Yeah, they reside there.
They got everybody except for Prograis. Side of Prograis, they got everybody in that division over there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we'll see what happens, but you know,
this is how I feel too. He said, as soon as AJ versus Fury is announced, I'm gonna run the block naked.
Bro, they need to quit dicking around and get that shit fucking signed off on already, bro. Like. Slow Tello said official, bro. I'm not giving you no prediction until
I will. I'll tell you how that fight's gonna go. Tyson Fury he's gonna stop Anthony Joshua when they fight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But I wasn't trying to say, but you do, bro. Listen, man. Listen, bro. Fury's gonna box. AJ's too fucking robotic, bro. Fury's too quick on his feet, dog. He's a lot bigger.
And the thing is, like AJ's not only is he too slow and too robotic, he's too conventional. Like to be Tyson Fury, you can't you kind of got you actually kind of have to be like a Deontay Wilder to where like you're not throwing conventional punches. That's the best way to be Fury.
Yeah, I'd be awkward.
If you can see your punches coming straight ahead, he's gonna have a field day. Especially now with Sugar Hill teaching him how to fight like a Kronk fighter. It's easy work.
Yeah. Yeah, and the only thing that worries me, this is another thing I was talking to an rival about the other day. The only thing that worries me is Fury's layoff, bro. Because if it happens in June or whatever they're talking about, bro, that's gonna be like fucking 16 months.
16
yeah,
months.
yeah. That's the only thing that I'm like, yeah, but yeah, I got Fury. I got Fury.
Shout out my man, Major Key Boxing. What's good, champ?
I was just over there too.
I saw. I caught part. I watched like about 5 minutes of his live before I came on, and I saw you guys over there.
Yeah. I make the rounds.
Yeah, you get around. You really get around.
Yeah, I'll be getting around, man.
Oh man, so AJ versus Wilder prediction. I predicted the fight will never happen.
Yeah, exactly. I predicted Wilder ends up in a fucking psych ward before that fight happens.
Yeah. What's good, man? You know what's funny? Like, shout out to Punch, man. I've been watching his channel and stuff, and I've been commenting on his channel. I don't think I've ever actually interacted with Punch Drunk, like talked to. I've never talked to him. So if you want to come on, Punch, you're more than welcome to. It'd be nice to talk to you. Yeah, come on if you want.
You said what? No, this kid in the chat, he said, bye, Johnny, your channel's getting copyrighted. Fuck is you talking about, dude? You ain't gonna do shit. But yeah.
Is this the guy? This is the guy that didn't this guy show his dick on camera or something like that? Like,
yeah, dude, he was walking around with his pee-pee hanging out. Yeah,
that's too much, man. That's too much. This man said, "Bye, clown." Hold on,
yeah, you just gonna run up in here and ice everybody's channel? Yeah, all right.
Hold on, man. Hey, Quantum Rob, we're gonna put you in timeout like a kid. All right, Major Key with Glenn. What's good, man?
Man, I got a bone with you, man. How you be like watching my lives and don't jump on, man? You know how much I've been wanting you to come on one of my lives, man. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I watch. But the funny thing is, I watch a lot of people's lives, and I just listen.
That's what's up, man. So what we chopping it up about, man? You know how to come through and show you support. What up, Johnny? How you doing?
Yeah, we were talking about initially Teofimo Lopez and the whole Triller situation.
Okay, so I think that Triller. I was listening to some shit earlier, which made a lot of sense. I can't remember what channel. If I did, I would probably give him credit. But what I heard, there was somebody talking in their panel that said something that made perfect sense, and it was that they don't necessarily know if Triller's actually trying to be like a promotional company like that, where it's trying to like actually go at the other promotional companies, but just trying to pick up a piece of the pie where it's available and make as much money as they can off of it with their entertainment, and because it's basically just entertainment what they're doing. So they have deep pockets. They're trying to throw some great entertainment out, right? And so if it makes dollars, it makes sense, and that's basically what they're trying to do. And I think that it's a breath of fresh air. As a matter of fact, it was this dude, I think it was Leffler, that was talking about it. Was it a Fight Hype or some shit like that? About exactly what I'm saying. Like he said that he would be happy to join the event and smoke a little bit and sit down. He didn't say smoke a little bit, but he said sit down and converse with Snoop Dogg for 5 minutes. You know what I mean? But you know what he meant because he was smiling.
Yeah.
And just get into that environment, So I mean, it's an entertaining environment, and so it has its own niche, right? It has its own area, and it's for the casual person because it entertains them more than just the average boxing event. It's entertaining for the eyes for these people, music, all that shit. So it's great. I mean, I think that it's now. Should I expect everything to be like that? No. Because they're gonna try to entertain the YouTube boxing people and shit like that. So it's just a niche. I'm gonna say that. So it's not unhealthy as long as it doesn't really try to take a grip out of the real, meat and potatoes out of the game. You see what I'm saying? I'm not mad at them for giving another avenue.
They're just what you saying is they're just gonna run in there when there's some cheese to be made, bro. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Somebody dropped the pie. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna pick it up, dust it off, and make some money off of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, and I like it too because a lot of times, like I was saying earlier, in boxing you have these like mandatory fights that the promoters don't even really want to put on. So Triller could be an alternative for that, and they can get the fighters more promotion, more exposure, and that only helps boxing and the fighters.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
I was gonna ask you this too, BT. How the fuck do I get back on Twitter, dog? I mean, they how the fuck? There's got to be a niche.
I don't know, man. I've never gotten banned on Twitter because I don't do nothing crazy on there.
Oh man, Johnny, if Donald Trump can't do it, you can't do it, brother.
That's a fact.
Okay. So,
they said the president
that's
already.
A pipe dream right there. Forget about it. If Donald Trump can't do it, you're not gonna be able to do it.
They banned Donald Trump and Ryan Garcia. You dumb, bro.
I know, man. That's crazy.
Oh, Ryan Garcia got kicked off of there too.
Yeah, he got banned on Twitter because he was talking about I think child stuff. They had he was talking about Jesus, and I guess they were talking. He was exposing that they had like child porn on Twitter.
Oh, they kicked him off for that sounds about right.
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, man. But yo, so I mean, as far as people like going back to what we were talking about, what about if for the last fight for Terrence Crawford, if he goes to a purse bid and Triller picks that up, you know,
that'd be amazing. I love that for Terrence Crawford.
Yeah, let's put him against somebody else, and if Triller wants to pick it up, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
because that's what I feel like they're in bed with the game for. They're in bed to really make some money off of the shit that everybody doesn't want to promote. They don't want to, they want to hardball. Bob Arum needs to get out of the game, man. He did a great job for us for so many years, but right now he's tired, man. I'm sorry, like he's tired. Get up the game. That's it.
He doesn't care. He's in the twilight of his life. He just wants to. I don't know what he wants to do, but it clearly ain't boxing promoting.
Exactly. Especially when you say, "Oh, you could take that fight," but then you come back home. The chickens always come home to roost. You know what I mean? That's some old school shit. You know what I'm saying? That's like, yeah, chickens come home to roost. Yeah.
Yo, Bob Arum was whacking people for fucking Meyer Lansky in 1940 and shit over here, bro.
My man Punch Drunk Boxing says he's only 22 years old. I think he's talking about Devin Haney. He's only 22 years old, though. Every fighter's got to think that they're the best, and their fathers think the world of them. WBC put him in a position to be criticized. That's why I didn't want him to accept the belt.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I agree with Punch, but Bill is on another channel right now, just completely discrediting Tio. And earlier, I heard him on another stream calling him T-Ho. So the man's not even respecting a young fighter that he's had dialogue with his father, and he's talking down about another kid, you know what I'm saying, and calling him T-Ho. You know what I mean? And it's kind of fucked up, you know what I mean? But I get what he's saying because I do respect Haney as well. But unfortunately, Bill Haney's right now talking shit on a different
Where's he
channel.
at right now, Bill Haney?
I don't want to.
Type it in the private chat.
You want me to, or I mean, because I don't want to promote nobody else's channel.
Type it in the private chat.
I'll do it in the private chat. I'll type it in the private chat.
Yeah, man. But listen, we got somebody else here. We'll see who this guy is. Ronnie Toombs. I don't know who Ronnie Toombs is. What's up, man? He gone. All right. He didn't want no smoke. Oh, let's see. Private chat. Let me see what channels is on. Oh, really? Okay. Shout out to him.
That's exactly why, because I didn't like what happened in the past, so I'm not gonna do that over
here.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't gonna do that. You know what I mean? So, anywho,
I've met Bill Haney in person, but he's never. I mean, I know I haven't been live a lot recently, but he's never come here.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised because your channels are well. I mean, but he has been talking a lot of shit in the last few months. And you kind of went on a hiatus, you know what I mean? So
I did. I went on I wasn't on a hiatus, but I was still watching.
Okay.
Yeah. Like I remember there was one night I was on Punch Drunk and he was talking about all these other fights, and I'm like, yo, what about Nakatani? I even sent a super chat, and it took him like an hour to answer the question. I had to tell D Jefferson to ask him the question because he wouldn't answer the super chat.
Yeah, man. And I think that's a great question. And now when it comes to Lomachenko, right? Is that because I'm hearing, but I only heard it from channels that be hating and Fanboy and Haney, but now they're saying that Loma ducked, which I completely doubt if he mentioned Haney. But now they're trying to say that Loma ducked Haney again, and it's like nah, because that's not what Bill is saying right now on the other channel. They're making excuses to why they should fight somebody else.
My thing is this: even if he ducked Lomachenko in the past, the reality is Devin Haney hasn't fought anybody. He needs a name on his resume, like because these guys like Teofimo and Ryan Garcia, these guys are doing things to progress their careers, and he's getting left behind. So he got to do something.
But also, and my bad, Johnny, I'll let you jump in right now. I'm just gonna say this last point. So if you said before that Loma ducked you to become elevated as a franchise champion, the belt ain't worth anything, right? And then now then you try to call out Teofimo, say he's ducking you because he's fighting people for more money, and then you said Ryan Garcia was ducking you because he want to fight Gervonta Davis, right, which is basically worth more money. And then now Lomachenko calls you out, and he's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, come on, man, that's a duck. That's a Peking duck right there.
It's corny. Gee, check this out. This is how stupid these motherfuckers is, bro. This is how dumb. So you're telling me Loma ducked Haney to unify with Teofimo Lopez? Come on, bro. Stop it. It's fucking the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Bro, stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what do you expect, man? We're on YouTube. You're gonna hear some stupid shit from time to time.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm expecting. Yeah. Of course. But like, bro, y'all, like some of you dudes is just not y'all, of course, but fucking some people, man. Some people.
Yeah. Punch Drunk Boxing says PBC robbed Fox, Top Rank robbed ESPN. Fox and ESPN don't know boxing, so they relied on the promotion company to put up championship bouts. That's sounds about right.
Yeah, man. Yo, Punch dropping gems right there, bro. Did you steal one of my keys, Punch?
He took one of your keys off the shelf.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me too, bro. Like, shit. What can you say?
Yeah, man. Hey, Major Key, I wanted to get your thoughts on the live sparring session from this past weekend. What did you think about Canelo versus Avni Yildirim?
Look, man, I can't believe that people are saying the same people that said that Canelo was cherry picking now are saying that Avni Yildirim took a dive, right? Which one is it? Because you know what I'm saying? If he was so great that he whooped his ass so convincingly like he was supposed to, how is it that he's taking a dive? My man looked like he looked like he didn't want to come out. Dude was asking in the corner, I'm gonna give you one more round. Yeah, no, he didn't take a dive. Like, dude was asking in the corner. Which call? I'm gonna give you one more round, and he didn't respond. He just looked like a fucking deer in front of headlights. Like he just didn't want to fucking respond. So they just stopped the fight. Like,
probably found out that direct deposit hit, so he said it's time to go down to South Beach and enjoy some of my earnings.
Hey man, hey, Canelo's punch selection, bro, was crazy. He showed him because it looked like he was playing with him at first, and then as soon as Avni hit him one time. They said, "What the fuck, nigga? I was about to carry you for the next 12 rounds, but you want to fuck with me?" And just fucked them up. And that's it. And then my bad for the cursing because I know you.
No, it's cool. It's cool. Yeah, man. Honestly, look, I know I caught part of what Punch said because Punch was saying like everybody's worried about what Canelo's doing, but what the fuck are they doing? Like that's what I heard him saying that. My thing is this, man. Like, look, Canelo's last two fights, and I know Canelo was technically a champion, but come on, man, he got to step it up. I mean, he's fighting Billy Joe next, so I guess that's cool. But
yeah, but he did
Canelo in a real fight.
He did, but I know what you mean. But he is fighting the champions at 168, right? Yeah. And I said, bro, if you look at my my video like 3 months ago, almost 4 months now. After the fight, I even said that he's got to fight Avni Yildirim. People are gonna call him, start hating on him, but this is gonna be his mandatory. They said it already. So if you were following at that time, then you already knew that it was gonna be his mandatory. But then I said that he would, if he was smart, he would do the double deal with Eddie Hearn to get the Avni Yildirim and then the Billy Joe Saunders. And then after that, because it's PBC that he has to deal with Plant, then if he has to separate ties with Eddie Hearn, it makes sense because he already got the belt from Billy Joe Saunders and fights Plant for the end. But now Plant is talking about he got a hurt wrist or hurt knuckles. You know, even though when he thought the camera was off, he was rubbing his hand like normal, like that's not what a broken hand looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, but you know, it is what it is. It sounds like he's already making excuses. Like he don't want that smoke.
Yeah, man. And honestly, even if he did it, I don't think he. I think it's a cool fight, but he wouldn't do anything with Canelo.
Yeah.
The only 3 fights that I want to see for Canelo, in chronological order. I mean, not like you don't gotta take all of them back to back to back, but I'm saying as far as who I want to see the most is I want to see Demetrius Andrade 1, I want to see Benavidez 2nd, and then Bivol. Any one of them 3. Pick either one you want, and I'm okay.
So that would require. So hold on, I get what you're saying. The fights you want to see, so not necessarily at 168. So I feel you because a lot of people feel like Andrade gives Canelo the most problems as far as like the people that can move up and shit like that. But going up to Bivol, right? Going up to Bivol, I think that's probably the most intriguing fight. And the reason why is because Bivol actually has hand skills and has power.
Yeah.
Whereas Andrade is more like a slick boxer just trying to pity pat and get around the ring and stuff like that. And I think Canelo will. He doesn't seem to be that powerful to me, bro.
He is. He's very powerful. If you watch his fights, man, the first 2 or 3 rounds, he normally either drops his opponents and they retreat. When he hits guys, he gets the respect immediately.
So the people that Canelo beat, right? That had more power than him, right? And you seen his beard, bro. That's what I'm trying to say. Canelo has a beard.
Yeah.
Canelo can take shots. Do you think Andrade drops Canelo out of a flash knockdown like that? Being realistic?
I wouldn't. I don't think so. But like the thing is, he punches from weird angles. So I could see him hitting him. Canelo. I could see him hitting Canelo with one of those like shots from a weird angle that he doesn't see.
I could see him offsetting Canelo's rhythm with that awkward stance, but I don't see him dropping him. You know what I mean? I could see him making him reset too much to where it kind of wastes his time in the round, where Canelo maybe has to catch up a little bit here and there with points, with speeding up the attack. But as far as like, I just don't see him like dropping Canelo, man.
All right, hey, yo, check this out real fast. BT, I got to roll.
Okay.
Appreciate you having me on, but real quickly, a few days before the Chocolatito Estrada fight, bro, me and you got to chop it up, dog, a little bit.
We definitely will. I'm gonna actually what I'm gonna start doing on the channel soon is like I'm gonna go like pick fights from early in their careers and just start talking about them to get people excited. To hype it up.
I'm with that, bro, because you know I'm a big Chocolatito guy like you is.
That's the man right there.
Yeah, for sure. Mate, Glenn, peace, brother. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow or something.
All right, Johnny.
Peace, guys.
Yes, sir. Have a great night, bro. And yeah, to follow up on that Chocolatito Estrada fight, I'm also looking forward to the undercard with Breakus and McCaskill, because that is going to be a war as well. And let's see if Breakus adjusts, because McCaskill was coming just throwing haymakers. So let's see if she adjusts.
Is Breakus still being trained by Abel Sanchez, or did she get rid of him?
I haven't heard. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard any changes since the last fight. You know, I just know that they have this rematch on the table, and I'm super excited about that. I'm glad that it's on the same card as Estrada and Chocolatito, because it's going to be one hectic fight after another.
No, it is. It is. I wanted to know that though, because I feel like her going to Abel Sanchez so late in her career, it cost her the fight, because she's not like an aggressive come forward fighter. She's a classy boxer from the outside, likes to use her jab, 1-2, those kind of things. And
she tried to in that first fight, and that's one of her downfalls, actually, if you ask me, was that she didn't come forward and become she tried to outbox from the outside, but McCaskill was just throwing him, and you could tell that she tried to offset McCaskill, but it wasn't working. So she's got to adapt, and that's why I said at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's intriguing to see if she can adapt to that, because it was a very close fight to begin with. So if she can adapt and kind of change the game plan and throw McCaskill off by turning her a little bit more, you know what I mean? That would be an interesting fight. But can she do it? You know, because you can't teach an old dog new tricks most of the time, you know.
Nah, you can't. No matter how good no matter how good the dog is, too. Like you are what you are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Man. Well, Glenn, I actually had to get some rest, man. Cause I had to be awake. I had to be awake early in the morning tomorrow.
Yo, I got to work tomorrow too, so I just wanted to chop up and show you some support, brother.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, next time I hear that you've been on my channel, but you didn't click the link, bro. We're gonna have a conversation.
You gonna phone me up?
No doubt, brother. But no, mad love for you, bro. And I'm glad to see you back. And so hit me up whenever you're going live, man. I'll fucking chop it up with you. All right.
All right, Glenn. Take care, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
All right. There you have it. That's my man. That's my man right there. Major Key Boxing. Yeah, Keen. Yeah, tell them. Tell these fools, man. Listen. I know I've been out of commission for a little bit, so I'm trying to get back in the regular swing of things, because we can't let the untouchable True School Sports subscribers down. I can't. I have a responsibility to carry the boxing game on my shoulders, so I can't do that, man. Can't do that. Anyway, oh shit, come on, man. I can't. All right, I'll give him 10 minutes. What's up, Troy?
I don't even need 10 minutes, man. I'm about to go to bed. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Great to hear from you.
Good, man. Look, I need to do me a favor.
What do you need,
champ? There's a fight coming up on Saturday, man. I need you to push that for me. You know what I'm talking about.
Which fight is
the
that?
Shields card.
Oh, Clarissa Shields. Okay. Yeah. That's Saturday.
Make sure you push that, man, and get in touch with your other. And every podcast I go on, I'm gonna tell them to push that. Because I don't see it being advertised anyway. Do you?
No.
You see that? Me either.
Only place I see it advertised is on her Instagram. That's it.
That's just ridiculous, because real quick, I don't see why it's so hard to sell female boxing. Because you market it to women. That's who you market it to. You don't really market it to men, because most men are chauvinists when it comes to things like that, right?
Yeah.
But if you market it to women, then there'll be some interest in that. And once the women get interested, that'll draw the men in to get interested. So I don't see the difficulty. But yeah, man, you have a good night, man. Hey, tell your dad I'm doing something, man. I'm getting some shark, and I'm gonna grill it and stuff it with some shrimp, baby.
When I call him, I'll tell him.
Yeah, man. Yeah, tell him I'm trying that.
Okay, shark.
All right. Have a good night. Hey, when are you gonna interview Simon, man?
It's a great question.
Yeah. See. Okay. Bye.
I gotta do it soon.
Yeah. All right, man.
All right, Troy. All right, so that's Troy Graham, man. But yeah, thanks everybody who stopped by live. I'll be live again tomorrow. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go live like this or do an interview tomorrow, but I wanna really do an interview tomorrow. I don't know who yet, but we're gonna do an interview with somebody. So be on the lookout. But yeah, you guys take care. I'm gonna get some rest. You guys have a blessed night. Keep supporting the channel. There's like tons of content coming out. Like there's so much content coming out. I made like 10 videos last night, so you'll see it coming out gradually. Thanks for supporting. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving. Hyro, you want to come on, Hyro? Nah, I gotta end the live, Hyro. It'll never end. People will just keep coming on. They'll just keep coming on. So I'm gonna end it, Hyro, and I'll call you and we'll talk for like 30 minutes. Then I have to get some sleep. But you guys have a blessed night. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just giving Dane. So until next time, take care, guys.